Brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
J-O-Y.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 14 days.
One of the freshmen, Dean's going to throw, and it's intercepted at the 15. Spence has picked it off, and he's going to go the distance. 50, 40, 30, 20. Brad Spence to the house. An interception return for a score, 85 yards in his first game as a Razorback.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
And Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about them Cowboys?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those Hawks.
You know, it's almost football season when we've got a new open here on the Morning Rush. We do it every summer. We get you ready. 2 weeks away from the Arkansas game against UAPB. One of the guys that you expect to be a starter is Brad Spence, who had an interception return for a touchdown in his first college game last season. You heard Chuck's call there. Brad is a guy who's not crazy recruited out of Texas, Houston area, 3-star kid. Had one other SEC offer, which wasn't even other an SEC school at the time, the Texas Longhorns, and he's wound up in Fayetteville. Travis Williams likes him. A lot of guys like him. He's teamed alongside Xavion Sorey, maybe some other guys too. I know that Coach Woodson, we had a chance to catch up with Coach Travis Williams yesterday, talked about not just those two guys, but others, maybe seeing 4 linebackers on the field at one time. Again, probably not going to see a lot of packages and different things against UAPB. Definitely, though, against a high-powered offense in Oklahoma State. We're going to hear from them. We're going to get into a lot more here on a Too Stupid Thursday for the next 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm glad you are here this morning. If you have not downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, and get into the Apple app or Google Play Store, get that done. You can listen to the Morning Rush, which we're moving 9 to 11 a week from Monday. And a lot of you, you're in the car early in the morning, but you get into the office. Probably if you're listening right now, you get in there, 7 o'clock. Maybe you're there now. Have that Hit That Line Now app so you can listen real easy. Put your AirPods in, hook it up to your computer, or just go on your computer to hitthatline.com. Follow along all day long for everything we got. Morning Rush moving 9 to 11. Have the Hit That Line Now app. Take us wherever you're at 0900.
Excited to get going this morning. We've got plenty of, again, some stupid stories to get into as well. I want to start, Tommy, here on a Too Stupid Thursday, the raw dogging flights. Now, I talked with Chuck about this. You were gone that day. I think you were at golfing or something. Mm-hmm. Do you know that new phenomenon? I say phenomenon. That's probably a loose term. The new stupid event that some males partake in when traveling.
Tell me more, okay. Ty.
This is where men decide that they are not going to read a book. They're not going to get on their smartphone. They're not going to use any electronics whatsoever, and they're just going to read the map in front of them for long 8, 9, 10, 12-hour flights. Now, according to
international flights.
Yes, international, various other flights. Now, according to
it'd have to be international.
Well,
there's no 12-hour flights in our country.
They'll do others too. According to Inspire Ambitions, this could lead to blood clots, amongst other things. Now, I think some of you remember the Tide Pod Challenge years ago, where kids would just eat Tide Pods and die, like legitimately go to the hospital. Or there would be kids that would go into a Walmart or a Kroger or a Costco, eat out of the ice cream canister, and then put it back. This seems to be something else that's just, it makes no sense. I'm not going to.
Why would you subject yourself to that?
I don't know, but
I'm planning a trip right now. April of 26, we're going to Scotland. Play golf. It's an 8 hour and 15-minute flight once you leave Atlanta.
Oh.
Why would I subject myself to, I want to subject myself to melatonin and try to sleep for most of it.
Yeah.
But B, why would I bore myself to tears? I don't understand. I guess maybe I'm not the right target age.
Tommy's not raw dogging his Scotland fight, is what you're saying. Not going to do that.
Hey, I thought that term meant something,
It does.
different. But why would I want to?
Multiple definitions.
Right. Why would I want to do that? Particularly if I'm flying on an 8-hour flight, I probably paid $2,500, $3,000 to be on that plane to get where I'm going. Why would I not want all the amenities? That's stupid.
I think so too. It's perfectly lines up here to Too Stupid Thursday. I've got plenty of other stupid stories that we'll get into as well, including this lady.
This sounds like something you and your buddies would do
No,
for some dumb reason.
This is not something that we would. Now, this would be a good punishment for our fantasy football league, and you would have to document you not do anything, or someone else would have to document, I should say.
8-hour flights are punishment enough.
Yes, this would be a good punishment for our fantasy football league. We have still not decided that, so any punishment we will take here this morning. So again, you heard we were talking about Brad Spence and stuff. We'll talk more about the linebackers and more Arkansas football scrimmage today. We're gonna have Bray Cook on, head coach at Pea Ridge High School. Trey Biddy joins us at 8:00. So we've got some practice, we've got some high school stuff. But one of the things you were talking about before the show, you were just watching some old NFL games last night. I watched the Arkansas-Florida game. Just kind of some appetizers. Again, 2 weeks away from college football, 3 weeks away from NFL football, and then high school week 0 begins, next weekend?
And I guess it was the NFL Network they had on where I was at. That they had the old Super Bowl. I don't remember which number Super Bowl it was, 52. I know it was probably later than that. Anyway, it was the Eagles and the Patriots. Tom Brady was quarterbacking. Gene Steratore was the referee. Was that 52 or 3? I don't know.
2018.
Well, it doesn't matter, whatever year it was. But may not even been that far along. But, kind of just had an eye on that. I was trying to figure out, when I first sat down, is this a preseason, some kind of, I thought it'd be weird to have a Wednesday night game, and maybe it's a replay from last weekend. No, that's the Super Bowl.
And you're like, oh, that's
Tom Brady, so that's not a preseason game. And then we moved over and we're just watching. Well, I guess that went off, and just some cut-up games, where they take all the junk out and you just watch play after play after play. I'm like, man, this got to get my blood flowing here a little bit. Get my juices flowing. We're getting closer, so I'm ready.
So, speaking of phenomenons, for whatever reason, women love fall weddings, and I've seen that there have been statistics.
Be outlawed, but anyway.
Yeah, there have been statistics. I'll give my sister credit. Hers is on a Friday, not a Saturday. Still in the fall, but at least still that. For whatever reason, Tommy, October 12th is a massive wedding holiday this year. I say holiday, but a massive wedding event day. And on that day, on October the 12th, in college football, there are some incredible games. Ohio State traveling to Oregon, the Texas-Oklahoma game that you've talked about going to. By the way, that's Arkansas's bye week.
I was saying,
so
yeah.
Ole Miss against LSU in the Magnolia Bowl, Penn State against USC, and there's others as well. Those are just a few of them. But apparently, that's one of the most popular wedding dates this fall is October the 12th.
I will not be at a damn wedding that day.
Have you decided if you're going to go to that Texas-Oklahoma game?
I got to score. I'd have to score a ticket somewhere. That's not going to be an easy ticket.
They are from our friend BP. I think he spent about $250 a pop last time, and I don't think they're going down anytime soon.
No, since Arkansas's bye date does line up with the Red River rivalry, I would not mind getting in the car that Saturday morning, because the game's a little bit later if I remember that day.
I think they moved it to 2:30.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I would, if you said, hey, we're going to leave out at 5 or 6 in the morning, get down there, go to the game, I would be fine staying down there somewhere. I'm not staying anywhere near the stadium, but I would not mind going, experience the fair, do the whole bit.
Get you something fried and juicy and good at the state fair.
Fried Dr. Pepper or something.
Then take in that college football
fried
game.
Butter. What can be better for you than fried butter?
Say what you want about the Oklahoma Sooners and the Texas Longhorns. That is a tremendous college football atmosphere and something I would like to go to one day as well.
All right, that's where we begin this morning. Too Stupid Thursday here on the Morning Rush. Don't forget, we're moving 9 to 11 starting August the 26th. We're brought to you by the Thill Floats made by Pradco right here in Arkansas. Nothing helps particularly the kids get going on that pond or creek or maybe the lake, wherever you're taking them, then some Thill Thill Floats. Nothing says summer fun like fishing with Thill Bobbers with the whole family. America's favorite floats by Thill are in a variety of sizes and colors. Premium balsa wood floats that are made by the thousands right here in Arkansas. They're great at detecting just the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Find Thill Floats at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LearnIt.com, and tackle stores all over the place. Floats by Thill.
What's up, everybody? It's Peter Burns for the SEC Network. You're listening to The Morning Rush. Yes, sir.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, this is Taylor Green, Arkansas quarterback, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man
built out of love, made with water. Ran her for years till a transom got
You put her in her crate and you hear.
What was that?
3rd and 6 on the Arkansas 34. Buddy Benson in the tailback spot. Benson rolls out to the left side. Has beautiful protection, lots of time. Fires a long pass down the field. Carpenter's got it. He's out in front of the last man. Reaching down the sidelines, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
All right, few texts to react to from our initial segment here on a Too Stupid Thursday. Got some hog news for you that was released yesterday. And, again, we got a chance to catch up with Coach Travis Williams, Brad Spence, and Anthony Switzer. We'll share some of that audio with you this morning, along with some hog prop bets, thanks to Bet Saracen.
Hey, if you're planning those trips to Fayetteville right now, maybe we're talking about the schedule and the games, and if you're looking for a place to stay and you're coming up for the weekend, or maybe you've got a last of summer trip planned. Hey, Inn at the Mills, the place we stay. Big oversized suites, great breakfast to start the day. Here's what I like about Inn at the Mill more than anything is when I call 479-443-1800, and if I do it during the day fairly, before 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Jennifer's going to answer. About 9 out of 10 times. And all I got to say, hey, Jennifer, it's Tommy Kraft. Hey, what you doing? We have a great conversation for a minute or two. When you come and what you need, and she just takes care of it. It's not, it's not because I know Ty Richardson that I get the special treatment. That's the way they take care of everybody. So
it does help if you mention me, though.
Well, not usually. They've got a room out, in the barn by the manger.
In the outhouse.
Yeah, but anyway, Inn at the Mill's great. And like I said, conveniently located. It's not far from our studios here in Northwest Arkansas. It's close to campus. It's close to great restaurants. But the personal service is awesome. 479-443-1800. You call any of the chain hotels, you're going to get the phone tree. You're going to get the robot, the AI. They're going to lay the AI down on you. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that. They're going to transfer you to a national call center. Not with the Inn at the Mill. Personal touch. 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com.
So you can get apple juice at the Inn at Mill during breakfast, and apparently that's what Smack Daddy is drinking this morning. When's the last time you've had apple juice in the morning? I love apple juice. I love orange juice. My dad was recommended because the amount of sugar to drink something else, but I love.
I'm not a big juice guy unless it's with some ice and maybe another libation, and I mix it with something. Okay. But apple juice generally at this point in my life is reserved for when I'm smoking ribs or a pork butt or something, and that's my that's what I'm spritzing with.
Good marinade. A couple texts here.
Not a marinade, a spritz
or whatever. You're the meat person on this show. A couple about the wedding text, Tommy. This is from Dr. Tyler in Fayetteville. My wife planned our wedding around Arkansas in the Bay in October, and that's why she's the greatest wife ever. So I don't know if Dr. Tyler's talking about this.
Here's the problem. What are you going to do 2 years from now, 3 years from now? You're going to be going to War Eagle, celebrating your anniversary instead of at the game.
Yeah, that's fair. I did get a kick out.
Don't let them trick you into this buy date nonsense. That's garbage.
Yeah.
Because the buy date's not going to be there every year. Garbage.
Ben in Little Rock asked, how many weddings am I set to attend on October 12th? I will be watching college football and going to Peacemaker. That is my weekend because Arkansas bye. I'm like you. It is nice to have 2 buys, Tommy, for Arkansas.
You've mentioned this permanent.
Yeah, and hopefully the SEC does. Now, Clay and
it's not just the SEC. You got to have college football agree to
have the 2 buys set up. And
see, I don't like it. I like Razorback football. I don't like 2 buys. That's the only reason for me.
You hadn't worked in this industry long enough.
Well, that's true.
Having an extra break for what we do because we don't always get to just sit and watch football. Those are 2 weekends I can sit and watch football. Put fire in my fireplace. I prefer them to be late October, early November, somewhere in there. I hate early buy dates. I hate, generally by the 2nd, 3rd weekend of November, they're not going to put you in one. But no, you got to get the schedule lined up to start early enough. It does mean a hotter week 0 game or week 1 game generally for you. That's a little tougher. I think it's worth it. And then You also got to line up with the championship games and stuff. Then there's only so many weekends. You got to figure out how you're going to fit 12 games into 14 rather than 12 games into a 13 weekend schedule.
So if we look, let's just go to 2025 if we want to look ahead real quick.
When are your championship games? If they're back up 13 or 14 weeks, and that will tell you how it will work.
I would guess you'd be advocating to start college football season on August the 30th. I don't think you'd start on the 23rd.
Count weekends,
the setup for that. So
it's pretty simple. You got to have 14 holes to fit 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
So
nothing wrong with that. Speaking of scheduling, Arkansas basketball officially playing Little Rock on November the 22nd in Bud Walton Arena. Daryl Hawkins, sounds like you're going to be playing UCA, Little Rock. I forget the team you play in Little Rock, so you'll get a chance to go against former Razorback Darrell Walker, who's still the head coach there. I think KK ended up coming back to the Trojans, is still on this team. KK Robinson, former Hog, former Bryant Hornet, played a little bit at Oak Hill Academy. So that's another marquee game. So you got, again, UCA, Little Rock. I don't remember if you play AC or not, but you are playing some in-state schools this upcoming season. I was curious how Cal would approach that. And again, Little Rock officially released that yesterday.
Is that good for our strength of schedule, though?
I think
that's a fair question, but I think
that's a good,
that's a fair question. But when you have the teams where, again, we don't have a schedule to look at, but the games we anticipate being involved in, you're playing Michigan, you're going to play Miami. I think, every team's going to have some of these. So it's a fair question, but I don't think that's going to be a concern.
And the SEC, I don't know if they'll get. Well, they got 8 teams in last year. I think that you have, like you said, enough non-conference marquee games in addition to the SEC being good. And in my opinion, don't know this to be fact, I still think you're going to see a game against the Baylor Bears in Dallas, Texas, added to the schedule at some point in the coming weeks. Don't know that to be fact. That's just a hunch.
Why do you think that?
Because they have. There's been reports out there that it's a possibility from college basketball people I trust.
And you may be right, but he talked about those preseason exhibition games, Kansas and TCU, right? And I can't see him. And he's talking about when Cal was talking, he was talking about that game in the Metroplex.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really see him going down there twice, but you may be right and I may be wrong. I don't have anything other than that, but I can't imagine they play an exhibition down there. Perhaps home up here, and then go back down to Dallas and play Baylor again.
You could be entirely right.
But you may be right, too.
When he said Dallas for TCU, people still lump in Dallas and Fort Worth. I think they're going to play TCU in Fort Worth, and then they're going to play, which, like I said,
I don't think an exhibition game would be neutral site. In fact, I don't know the rules well enough. May not be even allowed to do that.
Now, why did P. Rich brings up regular season-wise, Little Rock won the help me on this. What conference they play? Is it OVC?
And it stands for?
Ohio Valley?
Ohio Valley.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. Oh, you said and it
bonus points for Christian.
So they won that last year. Unfortunately, lost.
What conference were they recently in for many, many years?
Sunbelt?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They changed, and why did they change?
Football.
There you go. Hey, you're on fire.
There we go.
You're on fire.
But that is, they did win the regular season. Unfortunately, were eliminated in either the semis or championship. I'm forgetting which one. So they did have a good team. They've got, I think, a guy or two coming back. So that could be a benefit in terms of maybe your mid-major and the for net. We don't even use RPI anymore. It's for net, I guess.
Whole new lineup coming August 26th, right here to ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. The Chuck and Bo Show, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. starting the 26th. You guys right here in the Morning Rush going 9 to 11. Another reason to listen all day long to ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. If you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, now's the time to do it. Football season's here. Listen to all the Hog games and your favorite shows, starting with Chuck and Bo in the Morning Rush, 6 to 9 and 9 to 11 on the Hit That Line Now app.
All right, let's talk some football. We're going to hear from Travis Williams, Brad Spence, and Anthony Switzer when we return.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Daddy would kill me if I brought you home.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
That's my hero. I want to be when I grow up.
This is the Morning Rush.
Have you tried the TGI Friday weekday deals? On Monday, they have 50-cent wings, traditional or boneless, 10-piece minimum. Tuesday, cheeseburgers and fries with a fountain drink for $10. On Wednesday, Cajun shrimp and chicken pasta for only $12. On Thursday, enjoy a half a rack of ribs for only $12. Stop by and check out the weekday deals at TGI Fridays, I-540 at Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. In here, it's always Friday.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crick Hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crick Hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel Crick Hopper.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning, Tommy, and I had a complete brain loss. Third down, and there goes Sales, and there goes the record. As Sales gets inside the 30-yard line.
That Oklahoma just didn't take Arkansas seriously enough. They'll have to take them seriously after today.
You won't be able to contain these Razorback fans.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Swiss Army knife, Anthony Switzer. Now, if you're from Marion, you know about this kid who played high school ball, not highly recruited, 2-star coming out of high school, ends up at Arkansas State initially, transfers to Utah State, guess falls Blake Anderson. Now winds up in the portal, winds up in Fayetteville. Kid that's wanted to go to Arkansas finally has landed as a Razorback, I guess, in his final season. Missed the 2022 season, had a really solid 2023 season, hopes to be a big part of this linebacker core. Really came over as a secondary player, but it's going to play a little bit of both. We're going to talk about him and some other guys coming up in just a bit.
Starving already this morning, and I think about chips and salsa, one of my favorite snacks. Joe's Grill and Canteen has got the best chips and salsa. Crispy chips and that fresh salsa. They're making it right now because they make fresh salsa every day. That's a great way to start any meal at Joe's. Today's Throwback Thursday. They'll have one of the classic Cuco platters. Tomorrow will be Fajita Friday. And then, have you had the enchiladas at Joe's, guys? They've got like the best enchilada sauce. That brown enchilada sauce, it's their own recipe, made in-house. They have endless enchiladas on Saturdays. But not only is the food great, the service is even better. It's friendly people. You can sit at the bar and watch TV and the games. You can cozy up in a booth with your honey and have a date night. You can get the buddies together for lunch. It's always going to be a good time at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's Grill and Cantina, great Tex-Mex, even better service. Great place to watch the Hogs. We'll be telling you the game day specials coming up for that this year very soon. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps in Fort Smith.
So let's start with Anthony Switzer. Again, he's not highly recruited out of high school, winds up as an Arkansas Razorback. Here's his talking about his journey and getting to play with an Arkansas emblem on his chest.
I've always dreamed of being a Razorback. Unfortunately, I didn't get that chance coming out of high school, but, I didn't let that deter my dream. So I just took a different path, and, it all worked out on God's time and not my time. And so I'm here when I'm supposed to be here, and I'm glad to be here and make the most of that opportunity.
And you heard, again, he's here when he's supposed to be here. Now, his defensive coordinator and his linebacker coach kind of touched a little more on me. This is a guy that's not just going to play linebacker, might play some other positions as well, according to Coach Woodson and Coach Williams. And it boils down to, apparently, he just loves football.
But then you get us Anthony Switzer that's right at 6 foot, but he's a heck of a football player. You always like, man, you know what? I want a football player. What does that mean? Man, is he always around the ball? Do he love football? So you have different body types. So you got to just make sure whatever you get, they love football. And obviously you're going to profile and say, okay, I want him 6'2" or whatever. But just make sure the guys you get can play.
Tommy, if you're only 6 feet, you got to love football if you're going to have to go up against offensive linemen and you switch positions to linebacker a little bit. He's, again, not necessarily the prototypical SEC linebacker mold. You got to love football if you want to stick your nose in some running game situations.
Well, and, but we've seen, would you say Grant Morgan checked every box as a linebacker in this league? He came in as a walk-on, little probably undersized as far as height, had to bulk himself up. So, I mean, your motor, your heart and your love for the game do matter. But at the end of the day, it's still the SEC, and there are some exceptions to that rule. But there's a reason why these coaches are looking for prototypical body types. It's because those are the ones that, like you say, match up well.
Man, he fits he passes the eye test. But I will say this, it's kind of along the same lines. On NCAA 25, he is not that fast. I hope that they kind of did him dirty, so I'm hoping that's just,
There's been a lot of players.
The game.
Isaac Tesla got asked about it, and he was like, apparently people think I'm the slowest wide receiver according to the game and stuff. I think players have gotten a little irked by some of their ratings, which is funny. That would be like there wouldn't be a broadcaster equivalent. I did hear Alabama.
It's a video game.
Kalen DeBoer said his players are playing it to learn the offense a little more. The Alabama head coach.
Okay, but I don't think Saban would have used that route as a training tool.
No. I will say, if you're a college football or high school football head coach, would you rather have your players playing that, or would you rather have your players playing like what does Dylan play right now? If you're
NCAA football,
he's got NCAA football. But what was his previous game? It's not like Call of Duty or Halo or something else, Fortnite or something.
Roblox.
You'd rather have him playing that at least.
Okay. Or or I might want. I want their nose in the game in the playbook. I want them watching video. That's what typical fan would say.
That's what, yeah.
Shouldn't be playing them games. They should be watching film.
Well, Jeff Lebby was talking.
In the weight room.
They said Lebby was at fall camp, the head coach of Mississippi State, former offensive coordinator at Oklahoma and Ole Miss, and he was talking about, like, once fall camp starts, they're not playing that game anymore. He was like,
good luck with that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How do you enforce that? It's not like you can go to the room and take out their Xbox or PS whatever nowadays.
Because you're the head coach and your word is law.
I don't think players would abide. I'm going to be honest. I don't think players would abide by that at all.
I tend to agree with you.
I think that they're probably gonna play. They might play silently. It might not be parties, but they'll not play nevertheless. So we were having some fun on Tuesday. Again, coming back to linebackers, and I know we played that clip umpteen times, but you heard.
Well, we were trying to make a point. That was the point. I guess you missed the point.
I don't believe the point. The point that Coach Wood. I have to see the point.
Okay.
Because the idea
and that's fair to be skeptical.
Okay, all right, and I'm still skeptical, but Coach Coach Williams touched on the idea that they're going to, similar to what Coach Woodson said, play more linebackers and possibly 4 at times.
It's our job to figure out, okay, who's the best 11, and what are we trying to do? So if it's 4 linebackers happen to be out there, great. If it's 2 linebackers, great. If it's 1 and we in a dime set, great. So, but it's our job to try to figure out, okay, how can we play our best guys? So it's like, you take Landon for instance. There's no need for Landon to be on the sideline next to me. It's my job to kind of figure out where those pieces fit.
Mm-hmm. That's what we were talking about a half hour ago is, hey, it's still about getting the best 11 on the field regardless of what line they're on the depth chart. Now you've got to have certain body types to protect, the front line of the defense. You got to have enough speed in the secondary to match up. They understand that. That goes into the best 11. I just find it interesting from the comment earlier this week, pair it with that one there, Ty, that, hey, there may be times you've got 4 linebackers on the field. I think it just speaks to the concern of the depth at linebacker. If that's even a scenario and they're amongst the best 11, either we don't have a very good 11 or we're better at linebacker than we think. And I tend to lean towards the latter. I'm not buying into some Kool-Aid drinking, idea that we've got one of the better defenses in the league. But I think this is a defense that could approach, near mid-pack. And I think if they can be near mid-pack, they can keep you in some games. And hopefully your offense is in a better spot this year to win some games with an extra score or 2 and get you bowl eligible. I think that's my line of thinking right now.
If you got some thoughts on not just any of the defense, but any Arkansas football, jump in here, 877-377-6963. There has been a lot of turnover at that specific position when you think about losing Jaheim Thomas and Chris Paul. Xavier Sori comes over from Georgia. Brad Spitz was here last year as a sophomore. Worth, the transfer from Jacksonville State. Dix is the Marshall, I think Florida State kid, if I remember that right. Switzer's Utah State and Arkansas State. And I think there's one more that I'm missing too. Plus you bring in the 2 freshmen in Bradley Shaw and Wyatt Simmons. So there's a lot of new faces in that room. Luckily, your defensive coordinator has a background as a college and NFL linebacker, which I would think at least helps the situation and expedite that process.
There's a lot of guys, though, that coach positions that didn't play. So, I mean, it's still about, do you have a couple sets of eyes in that defensive coaching room, or more than a couple, that can figure out who the best 11 are and how they fit together? And I think that's exactly what all these defensive coaches we've heard from this week are at the root talking about. All right, what are the combinations? What works in different scenarios? Is it goal line? Is it short yardage? How do we put an opponent behind the chains on 1st and 10? Those are the things they're trying to figure out. Is how to put their opponent first of all and 2nd and long, 3rd and long. Don't worry about goal line and short yardage situations if you can be better on 1st down defensively. And the opposite is just as true from when we listen to the offensive guys.
I wonder, listening to Coach Williams expand on outside of just the linebackers, but on Bobby Petrino a little bit. Listen to this and tell me if you think there's any maybe help that the defense could be receiving going against the Bobby Petrino offense.
Coach Petrino is a great offensive mind. So he gives you so many different formations, so many different personnels, so many different plays and different things. If he see one thing, he got an answer for this. He got an answer. Like, he has answers for everything that we give him. So it's been good for us to go against that. Like, I mean, he's really good. He's really good at calling plays, really good at giving his best players, putting them in positions to make plays. You know, a lot of people think it's all downhill passes, but Coach Petrino, you know, he'll run the ball. He run the ball. Like, he understands a physical offense, and, you know, you got to be physical in this league. So I've been knowing him a long time. I've been knowing him for 22 years. So we go all the way back to 2002, and he's been same way ever since then. He's a great offensive mind.
Played linebacker at Auburn when Petrino was the offensive coordinator. Played in Atlanta when Petrino was the head coach, and now coaching alongside, really opposite of Bobby Petrino. So there's some history there.
And I've always thought, and I've seen it at different levels with really good coaches. I've always thought a guy like Bobby Petrino, if he got a job as defensive coordinator, you think he'd be any good at it? As defensive coordinator?
Well,
hell yeah, he'd be good at it.
You talk to Clay or anyone else, he was the one a lot of times that made defensive
and that's my point is, you know, a good offensive coordinator, just like a good defensive mind, knows how to attack the weakness of the other side of the ball. And, you know, I think that they'll all, you know, the old cliche, iron sharpens iron. I think this is exactly what we're seeing in practice right now is a better offense is going to make for a better defense. And, you know, we've seen back when Bobby Petrino was your head coach, and the adjustments he'd make at halftime during the game, when we got to sit through more practices and you'd hear very vocally some of the things that would get changed on defense. Now, sometimes the defense was there for the convenience of the offense to practice, but there was oftentimes, and he was the head coach, he could certainly do that, but you could tell he knew exactly what needed to be done on defense to shore things up. So that's one of the things that gives me a little more hope. I'm not saying it's going to take you to 9 wins. I'm not going off the ledge here, but Bobby Petrino's football mind will help every facet of this football team, not just in practice, but I think on game days as well.
Travis Williams comes across as a real decent man, but if I was in his shoes, I would have hated Dan Enos last year because you didn't get any help. I mean, how many games, when you look at the schedule from last season, how many games did the offense just lose last year? Not the special teams, not the head coach, not the defense. How many games did the offense lose and cost you the football game last season? At least half.
Well,
it's night and day.
Enos was only there for half of them too.
And that's when did he get fired? Right before the Florida game, I guess, or right before the Florida game, and then Kenny Godden takes over. They win that game. Didn't have a great showing the rest of the season, but that I think if you're Coach Williams, you not just the relationship, not just the aspect that you talked about with Petrino, you have a guy that you actually, I don't know if respect's the right word, but you trust will actually be able to help you and not put your defense in terrible situations. I thought what they did last year over the course of the season, with the exception of maybe Missouri and Auburn, was admirable because they just had to keep playing over and over and over again. 3 and out, turnover, whatever it was. They kept getting thrust into horrible situations as a defense. And yet, a lot of times they actually played pretty good and got the offense the ball back, gave them a chance. Now, the chances weren't executed. You still lost 8 games last season, but I just think that from that vantage point, you got to be happier, Travis Williams, just knowing that, hey, offense might actually score some points this year.
Well, I mean, but they probably, I bet we thought the same thing. Man, Dan Enos is here, is going to fix this offense. I bet if we go back and dig in the archives, we were saying something along the same lines at this point last year. We're more hopeful because we got a history with Petrino. Obviously, we all very familiar, but we got to see it, come to fruition. So we know the end equation. We know the result of last season's offense, and Dan Enos didn't pan out. We're very hopeful it's going to pan out, but, it hadn't happened yet.
Text in from Austin, Scott County, saying, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. He is swimming in it this morning. Austin, if you could give us a prediction, you're more than welcome to do that, too. I know that is about this time of year, 2 weeks or so, people start saying, all right, Arkansas is going to do this season. This player's going to do this. One of my hot takes on a Hot Take Monday, not this past Monday, but a Monday ago, I think I really do think Andrew Armstrong is going to be the 5th wide receiver in Razorback history to go for 1,000+ yards. Now, he's been banged up a little bit during fall camp, which is concerning, not just for my bet per se, but how he's going to be for Arkansas this season. Hopefully it's nothing big. And Broden and some other guys. I know injuries are a part of fall camp, but hoping he gets fully healthy along with Patrick Kudus and some other, I would guess, mainstays and starters for this football team coming up in 2 weeks.
I think people tend to be a little more optimistic as we get closer to the season. It's been talking season. We're hearing things filter out, practice, but we're reading between lines a little bit. We're listening to what coaches say, and it's generally, it just depends on your perception and your perspective. As a radio host and as someone consuming this information out there, when you hear these coaches say what they say, do you take the optimistic or pessimistic view? I think we've taken a little more optimistic look at particularly some of the defensive coaches' comments, and then we got to hear from Bobby Petrino. You've heard from both coordinators this week. So I think we've been a little more optimistic about some possibilities. There hasn't been, where's some wood, knock on wood, we haven't had a injury that's going to derail the season. They've held some guys out of scrimmages, but nothing that his coach Pittman said, nothing that would keep a guy from playing if they had to play a game for the most part that day. So I think if you're generally an optimistic person, you've had reason to have some hope this last week or so.
Yeah, and not only is it talking season right now, but it's also betting season. And there are betting lines out. Arkansas, you probably know, is a 4.5 over-under win total this upcoming season.
Hammer that over.
I think they're going to be over, Tommy. Now, when you look at there's some individual bets and overall bets as well that we can go over this morning. If you want to tell us one way or another, you can jump in here, 877-377-6963. We're going to start with the starting quarterback for Arkansas. His over-under right now is 2,499.5 passing yards and over 3.
You say 2,499?
Yeah, 2,499.
2,500 yard season.
Yeah. And over 400 rushing yards plus 200.
Are these all at Bet Saracen? Is that where we got them? Got all these from Bet Saracen? So 2,500 yards and what?
399.5, so 400 rushing yards. Okay. Plus 200.
And you got to do them both. So it's kind of like a little little combo bet, little mini parlay.
I just don't know how much they're going to run him. That's what we've asked.
You think he's going to run some, and some of it will be called, but most of it, some of it will be scramble. I'm going to go. I'm going to go over on both of those.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a 1,000-yard runner. He's going to be KJ, obviously. I don't know how many design runs there's going to be, but I think he'll have to scramble to keep from negative plays. And I think when he gets loose, he'll get you some yards. 400 yards, that's less than 40 yards. Obviously, it's 30 some odd yards a game. Yeah, I'm in on that. Yeah.
This one you were talking about hammer the over. This one I would hammer. Andrew Armstrong over 800 yards or more plus 55 or more receptions. Now, he had 749, I believe, last year with the terrible offense. I don't know about the reception total. I think the yards is clear and easy to me unless he gets injured. But the receptions, 55 receptions is a lot of receptions over the course of a season. That's what I'm more hung on about. That's plus 275.
That's 4.5 or so a game.
Yeah, I would probably still take that bet. Just, again, 750 receiving yards last year in a horrible offense. I think the yards,
with a quarterback that couldn't throw it, hit the broadside of a barn, as they'd say.
I think the receiving yards is an easy thing, but the receptions I'm a little hung up on.
I tend to agree with you. I would probably, if you forced me to bet, I'd tend to go over on both those.
JP texting in asking about Jaquindon Jackson's rush total. He says, if we have a 1,000-yard receiver, I heard claims that Jaquindon Jackson will be a 1,000-yard rusher. Jaquindon Jackson's total, Tommy, right now is just basically 650 yards or more, and then you've got to get over 6.5. So he's got to get 7 rushing touchdowns and 650 rushing yards for plus 325.
I think you may have the answer to that on August 29th.
If it's a heavy dose of him.
Can you get yards there? Does the offense look fluid enough to get it done? B, obviously it's your best stat game opportunity. 3, they don't play again for 10 days. I know you don't want to risk injury, but the starters may go a little longer in this game. I don't know what, Pittman hadn't spoke to this, but, my intuition would say because you have 10 days to recover, you may go a little longer with some of your frontline guys to get more film and get more, study on execution in film study. So if he could get off to what would be a great start, approaching 150. I don't think it has to be 150, but
it'd be nice to have that jump.
I'll tell you, that's a stat game.
Yeah.
All these things you're talking about,
stat game.
Stat game is against UAPB, and for all the reasons I just spoke to. So some of these answers or some of these questions, I think you'll have a heavy lean after that first game. Even though I understand the competition, I'm just saying opportunity for numbers and extra days to rest following the game may open up that opportunity.
Chris in Fayetteville says we are a perfect example of two gentlemen that are drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's again our favorite hater.
just embrace the
Chris
whole-
in Fayetteville.
People that say you're drinking the Kool-Aid are generally coming from a pessimistic, skeptical, and that's fair. Arkansas is not giving you a reason to trust much, but so I get it. But I just don't like walking around like being negative all the time about everything.
Well, BG,
I'm just looking for reasons to be positive. You think that's Kool-Aid drinking? So be it.
BG is negative this morning. His bet is Arkansas goes 3-9, and Sam Pittman is fired after the Ole Miss game.
So you're miserable right now.
Yeah, I mean,
at least wait.
I'll be miserable later. If BG's is a BG, if BG's right, I'll be miserable later with him. I'm just not going to be miserable the whole time.
Bobby in Ashdown says his bet is Landon Jackson over 10 sacks. Now,
that's a lot.
Landon's bet on this. I think Landon ended his season last year, if I remember correctly, with 44 tackles and 6.5 sacks. So his season this year, it's 49.5. So 50 tackles or more and over 7 sacks or over 6.5. So 50 tackles, 7 sacks, plus 220.
Being the stud on that defensive line, how much double team attention does he get? And that opens up something for, Eric Gregory or, Cam Ball or someone else on that line to, that's not getting as much attention. So I would go under on those. Not because I think Landon Jackson's not a great player. I think he's such a great player, and he's maybe your best defensive player. He's going to get double teamed a lot.
It's hard to get 50 tackles as a defensive end when they're going to try and avoid you. They're not only are they going to try and double team you, but they're going to try and game plan.
OCs are going to say, here's the guy that could wreck my game.
Yeah, I'm running away from him.
Here's the one guy that could ruin my day, and he's on that list.
Mm-hmm.
So no knock on him. I just think it's a compliment to him, actually.
All right, last one. Luke has over basically 450 receiving yards and 49 receptions or more, plus 425. So 450, 49 catches, plus
Obviously,
425.
gotta stay healthy this year, unlike last
Bogus
year.
collarbone last year.
450 and how many catches? You said it twice.
49. Is that safe? Yeah, 49.
I think over on the yards and under on the catches.
Again, I'm not worried about Andrew Armstrong getting nearly 800 yards. I'm worried about him catching, was it 55 balls? And I'm worried about Luke.
I think knowing Bobby, I mean, if you go back and look at Bobby again, I think you run into a dangerous trap for yourself if you go back and look. Well, Bobby Petrino did this, this, and this when he was the head coach here at Arkansas. That I think it's a dangerous mindset. But one of the things that he likes in early in games, like play one, what was one of his favorite plays? Play one.
Crossing route?
No, a little rollout dump pass to the tight end, and he had some great tight ends. So I think Luke's going to be a prime target on this in his play calling, and particularly early. If there was a bet right now for who got the first touch of the year,
there will be. I don't know if
I'd put it on that cat right there.
I don't know what
Luke Haas.
I don't know what the if they have that initial, but they will have that. I bet on the Bet Saracen app, and
because
hammer it, Tommy, hammer it.
I mean, it's dangerous to say, well, this is what we did in 2009. This is what we're going to do in 2024. But
nice little play action.
Play action rollout pass into the flat, probably to the right side. To the tight end. Wouldn't surprise me at all. All right, get all those lines and have some fun at the Bet Saracen app. You can download that in the Google in the Google store, or you can get in the Apple App Store. That's what we always get our lines with here on the Morning Rush.
We got Bray Cook coming up at 7:20, our Morning Rush Daily Question, plus more of the Too Stupid Thursday.
RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel Crickhopper.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. It's August, it's hot, and it's time to flip the lot. So we're giving you the best we've got. Save up to $6,000 on red tag clearance prices on a fantastic selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty, plus up to $2,000 extra for your trade and no payments for 90 days. They've all got to go, right down to the bare asphalt. Get a great deal on a great car now and help us flip the lot. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixings. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Chuck Fawcett with Chuck Fawcett Realty. When I have a HVAC problem or a plumbing problem, I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940. Blaylock Heating and Air.
So to have a red truck rolling your way today, give us a call. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know. That's 782-8940.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at jodySauto.com.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies, very hot, and it's going to be very sticky as well. A high this afternoon into the upper 90s with a heat index 107 to 110. We could see a few scattered showers with thunderstorms rumbling through across the north tonight. Overnight low to mid 70s, and isolated showers and storms Friday, a high mid to upper 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 14 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
One of the freshmen, Dean's going to throw, and it's intercepted at the 15. Spence has picked it off, and he's going to go the distance. 50, 40, 30, 20. Brad Spence to the house. An interception return for a score, 85 yards in his first game as a Razorback.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
And Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this, Cowboys?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those Hawks!
It's hour number 2 of the Morning Rush on a Too Stupid Thursday. Do I have a stupid story to share with you coming up in just a bit? But you heard the highlight of Brad Spence, true freshman, first game, taking it all the way back. I think it was an 85-yard return, if I remember that correctly. We were just talking about some bets earlier on where you think certain Hog players will wind up statistically. One of the texts that we just received was from Ryan in Caddo Gap that thinks Braylon Russell will have more than 8 rushing touchdowns as a freshman. Tommy, he only has to get 200 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns at plus 150 to exceed his at least Bet Saracen totals. Ryan thinks he's going to get far more than that.
8's a lot.
8 is a lot.
8's a lot, true, particularly for a true freshman.
I think he envisions him in a Broderick Green type of role. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line, hand it to him. Braylon, based on what I heard Chuck say, and you listen to coaches, it feels like he's a guy that you don't just have to give the ball between or inside the 20 or 10. It might get a little more than that. But and again, you asked a fair question. What's the running game? Is it going to be a running back by committee? Is it going to be heavy Jaquindon Jackson? We don't know, and I don't even know if we'll know after the first game coming up in 14 days.
I think having more than one's really important because you're not going to make it through the season with probably 2. So having a freshman that's getting some carries, having 3 different guys you can really rely on and 4 available, I think is never a bad thing as well, because if you have a freshman getting that many carries and that many touchdowns, he's either sensational or you've had a lot of injuries. I mean, there's probably not a lot of in between on that. All right, that's where we begin here in hour 2 on a Thursday morning, brought to you by Farm Credit. Hey, finding the right financing options to remodel your current home or build a new one is easier than ever when you stop by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations. Let their experts guide you from start to finish, or you can log on to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com and see all of the financing options they offer. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, making family dreams come true for more than 100 years.
Aaron's listening in Wichita this morning. He asked us, is the show changing time slots? He only caught the tail end of yesterday. I think a good chunk of you know, but maybe you're hearing for the first time. As of August the 26th, so less than 2 weeks from today, it's a Monday, the Morning Rush will be moving from from 6 to 9 a.m. to 9 to 11 a.m. Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly will be taking over the morning drive spot, the Chuck and Bo show from 6 to 9 a.m.
Yep. So that's the change. Everything else the rest of the day with halftime and Ruskin and Zach will remain in place as you know it. So now from 6 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, we're going to be here with local programming, local shows, people you know that love the Hogs just like you, starting at 6 a.m. with the Chuck and Bo Show on August 26th.
All right, let's get into this story here on a Too Stupid Thursday. And you hear Chicken Fry in the background from Zach Brown Band, rightfully so. So, Tommy, the AP estimates that people were able to steal $280 billion in relief funds with COVID and various things.
That's how much was stolen?
Yes.
Only 280. How many? Did you say billion or million?
Billion. In 2022, the business manager for the Harvey School District in the Chicago area was auditing their expenses and found that they exceeded their annual budget by just $300,000 halfway through the year. Turns out,
sounds great.
An investigation was sparked that led to a scheme. The food service director, Vera Liddell is the lady's name, stole $1.5 million worth of chicken wings from July 2020 to February 2002. Just to put that in perspective, by the way,
July, so it's a 20-year period.
July 20 to February 2022.
Okay, I thought you said okay.
If I said 2002, I apologize. But she basically got, I think, 9 years. What it was, 9 years in prison. Pled guilty.
She didn't serve a day.
She, I don't know. It had started. She pled guilty to the charges last week.
So in 2 years, how do you get? I mean, I don't know how many pounds of chicken wings that is. I know they're more expensive today than they were, but I mean, these aren't gold bars. How do you get $1.5 million worth of chicken and nobody notices?
Listen to this. The average cost per pound of these chicken wings, $4.67. It's over 320,000 pounds of chicken.
Hey, I want to go to a school that serves chicken wings. You know, we didn't have chicken wings. You know, not like I think of wings.
I don't remember having chicken wings in middle school or high school or elementary school. Just to put this in perspective, it's 160 tons of chicken. The Statue of Liberty is 140 tons. That's just to put it in perspective this morning.
Who paid for all the blue cheese and ranch dressing to go with it? Where's all the celery?
I
never eat the celery, though.
She might have had to pay for that, but I wanted to share that with you here on a Too Stupid
So where did
Thursday.
it go? What's the scam here? Who ended up with the wings?
I don't know. I don't know if she sold them, kept them, but it didn't really expand
How would
the
you
story.
sell that many? I don't know.
Chicken wings?
I'm guessing that she was selling them to a restaurant at a huge discount, or but if you looked into there's a family member or a close friend or someone that had a restaurant
loves chicken wings.
You couldn't eat that much. You couldn't eat.
No.
You could not eat that much chicken.
160 tons of chicken. 160 tons of chicken. So that
would stand out. Cause I'm just guessing. I'm going to guess that school district probably doesn't serve chicken wings very often for, a nutritious lunch at school.
No. What did y'all eat back in the day?
Oh, that square pizza, man. That was the best.
That's what I was thinking.
The square
man, what would you give right now for some of that lunch lady pizza?
It was like Totino's. No, it was like party pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife buys some of those for the kids. The Totino's, it's just a square deal. But that rectangular shaped lunch lady school lunch pizza, man, it was the best.
Can't beat it. There's a lot of good things back
Not much you missed from the school cafeteria, but that's one of them.
No. Back to our bets. We were talking about the differences of positive and negative feels about this football team. Tommy, this one is negative. For those that missed it, we were going over some bets, some individual bets for Arkansas football in 2024. The bets are just stupid. Bet on Arkansas maybe winning 5 games this season, and if Pittman or not
that would be
makes
the over
it through this season, I bet he's fired by October. That's the bet that they want. Well, you can't bet on that if not just for Sam Pittman, but other college football coaches are fired.
Do you just want to say those things? I'm not talking to you, but to be right with your buddies. I mean, I'm like Big C. Why do I can be miserable later? Why be miserable now? If all of that comes to pass, I'll just choose to be upset later. Why let the rest of my summer and the preseason, at least I have till September 7th to really get my gears ground. Now, if things go bad on the 29th, we're in a whole different stratosphere. But why work my blood pressure up this early?
What is worse? And I'm genuinely asking, setting yourself up knowing failure's coming or thinking there's going to be success and failure follows it? Because that is quite a roller coaster when you – I thought the team was going to be third in the SEC West last year. I think I had them at 8-4.
No, you had them beating LSU, and you had them beating Bama.
Alabama.
Being
you cautiously optimistic is okay, but you don't want to go into the season thinking like way above the norm.
If you're thinking 9 or 10 wins right now, you're probably not thinking responsibly about real expectations for the season.
Are you
if
sober?
you're like me and you're thinking, there's some out there that believe that could happen, but they're on the fringe. If you're like me and you're in the 6, maybe 7 win camp, I think that's you may get disappointed, but that's a reasonable expectation.
All right, we got more text to respond to. Our Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question, plus Bray Cook coming up next.
Make sure you're subscribed to the Hit That Line Podcast Network. If you do, the podcast will automatically download to your phone. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your Huckleberry.
This is the Morning Rush.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
World-class trout fishing is the the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbIrdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
When I go out to eat, I want something fresh. I don't want something that's been sitting in a freezer or processed. When I go to Lily Sandwich Shop, I am satisfied to the max. That's because Josefa makes everything fresh and uses that River Valley farm fresh produce during our long growing season. Stop by Lily Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District and become another satisfied customer. The sandwiches speak for themselves.
My name is Lily. My Baba makes the best sandwiches at Lily Sandwich Shop. Come by and see them at the Bakery District today.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Time for the Carpath Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
I got a question.
Can I ask you kind of a weird question?
I didn't ask what you think.
Actually, you did.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at CarpathSocial.com. Carpath Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
All right, time for your Morning Rush Daily Question. We're going to go off the sports board for just a second. We'll talk about scary things that may have ever happened to you. I was reading this post, guys, last night. I guess there was a meteor shower a few days ago. Y'all aware of that? I was reading about this.
I'd be lying if I said it was.
There was this post on the Fun in Arkansas Facebook page. And I don't know if this story is real or not, but it got me to think. It was about two ladies, Candy Wilkins and her friend Carly Roth, both of Russellville, drove up to Hogsbill Crag, just south of Harrison, near Jasper, to see the meteor shower. All right, this is happening in the 9:30 range a couple of nights ago, apparently. Or it's the way the post. It's a lengthy read. I won't go through the whole thing. It's about a mile and a half in. If you've been there to Whitaker Point, Hogsbill Crag, you park and you got to hike in about a mile and a half, right? They're getting in there and they've got their headlamps on and they see the eyes of a mountain lion. Now here they are walking on a trail to one of the most famous scenic spots in Arkansas. Two ladies, 9:30 at night, dark, and 10 feet away is a mountain lion.
Not the situation you want to be in.
So they turned, went the other way, and had a mile and a half out, and now there's two mountain lions. They made it to their car. There's no video because there's no time to take pictures. I mean, if you stop to take video or pictures,
I thought you were about to tell me.
You're an idiot.
And they found the two ladies.
No.
I was like,
So they got to their car. They got back safely. But I'm going to tell you, that would have to be one of the most terrifying things to ever happen to you. the way this is
I'd
described.
wet myself.
So
Yeah.
here's the morning rush day. I'm reading this and I'm thinking, what's maybe the scariest thing that you've ever experienced like that, where you thought, hey, one thing goes wrong here, I'm near death? Because that's all I could be thinking about as I was, soiling myself. If two mountain lions were following me, not just for 100 yards or 100 feet or a few steps back to my car, a mile and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking up some rocks.
Text is, well, I'm going back to the old phrase, I don't have to be faster than the mountain lion. I just got to be faster than you,
So
do you take off and run? I don't know. But what's the scariest thing, Big C? Maybe, is there anything that you've had happen along those lines that just scared you to death?
No, and I'm glad that has not happened to me. I would say the closest thing would be like coming up on a snake way too close, swimming in the water and a snake maybe 5 foot from you. That's a little scary.
I had that something similar. Stepped on a snake one time.
Nope, I'm out.
And man, that'll
when I would a cute girl coming up to approach me with this,
that would
be close. Okay, I don't know if it would breach. Here's mine. We're at summer camp. For those in the Hot Springs 96.3 listening area, I used to go to Brook Hill every summer. And this didn't happen to me, but it happened to one of my friends that I went to high school with. The boat driver, who was it's a Christian camp, completely sober, he's fine, slams her into the dock while tubing. That was the scariest thing I've ever seen in person.
Yikes.
I thought, she ended up being okay, but this is an in-shape high school girl that basically gets her head bashed into the dock. I was terrified for her. And I was with a couple other high school friends, one of her best friends and a couple other good friends. And to be in that situation, like you might see death right before your eyes. That's one. Did unfortunately play basketball a year or so back, and a guy ended up having a heart attack and ended up passing. That's about as scary a situation too. So I would say those two incidents, one from my childhood, one more recent, because that could have been a death situation. Unfortunately, luckily, like you said, it wasn't. I was wondering, Tommy, where's he going with this story?
All right, so B in Clarksville text in says, Halloween night, breaking and entering into an old condemned hospital. Jason in Fayetteville was in his home when the Joplin EF5 tornado hit his house. He thought he was a goner. Brad in Salesville says, I made that hike in the dark to see, to see the meteor shower was creepy enough. These texts are flowing in so fast. 870 with a text. That's why I'm always packing in that area. Bears and wild hogs. That's exactly right. I'm not entering the woods day or night, 9:30 a.m. or p.m. without having at least some kind of fire. But listen, you better have a little more than a 22 or maybe even a 38 or whatever if you got a mountain lion coming. Could you have the poise to pull the trigger on that? I've never told this story, but the stupidest, scariest thing I did, it was scary after the fact. Right here outside, not 20 feet from where I'm sitting right now. We had a storm come through. There was a piece of downspout off of the gutter or something that had fallen in the yard or come from somewhere. It was laying in the yard. We'll pick it up, take it to the dumpster, just doing what you do, clean up. And I picked this thing up, and it's probably 12, 15 feet long, something like that. And I don't know, maybe not that long. And I've got it, and I'm holding it. We have an overhead power service line that comes in, the big fat deal that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm carrying this thing in. I'm within a foot of me holding that aluminum downspout and touching that overhead line, and I realize what I'm about to do to myself.
Barbecue craft.
I'd have been dead. And, and fortunately, it didn't happen, but that scared me to death.
That's
I was chased before. I'll put it that way. That was a pretty scary moment.
Chased by who?
Just some guy in his vehicle. He chased me.
Did you run into him? Or
no, he thought I was at somebody's house, and I guess he thought I was going on his property. Anyway, it was scary.
We'll get back to some of these a little bit later on. We're going to talk to Bray Cook, but what's the scariest thing having to do? I can't imagine being at Hogsbill Crag and two mountain lions enter my path at 9:30 at night for two ladies. That has to be the scariest. I don't know if that's a great Facebook story or if that's the real deal, but two ladies from Russellville. I was reading that story last night on Facebook. I'm like, wow, I would have absolutely crapped my pants.
Soiled.
I wouldn't have been able to run. It'd have been a bad situation. Death may have been better than what what I've done to myself. All right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Question. It's brought to you by Cart Path Social. If you want to play some golf, do it indoors, get out of the heat, get with your buddies. Hey, that's the place to do it. It's at Cart Path Social. They got some specials coming up, Ty.
Yep, they've got their launch party coming up. Christian Nate really, really excited about that. You can check them out online at cartpathsocial.com, located in Lowell, #1 destination for indoor golf. They're going to have the ribbon cutting Thursday, the same game as the Little Rock game, August the 29th. The Scramble tournament begins that Friday, August the 30th, and then the 31st is that launch party, and they have the raffle winner on 7 o'clock on Saturday night. So if you're in Northwest Arkansas that weekend, you're looking for a great place to go play some golf, and you don't want to be blazing hot, sweating bullets, Cart Path Social is the place to be.
Brad in Salesville wants to know if you've ever been chased by 2 cougars at night.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times.
Plenty meaning zero.
Plenty of
Brad.
times. No,
Zero.
What did you say years ago? women don't not intimidated. They feel comfortable around me because there's no. What did you say? You said something on that show years ago that
whatever I said, I'm sure it meant friend zone.
No, that's what something of that nature. But yeah, there's
Yo FZ.
hot older women love me for whatever reason, as they do. I would guess our friend Bray Cook, who now.
Boy, what a transition there.
Yeah, Brady, you have cougars chasing you around all the time. I'm sure the P-Ridge administration wants to hear you hand on that.
Hello, Bray, you still there? Did you hang up?
No, you still got me. I'm not dealing with any cougars this morning. 7:24 in the morning. We're good.
Dude, I remember, let's see, it's you and Mitch Smothers, right? Y'all were at Harbor, right?
He was at Springdale, but yeah, we were in
okay,
that same class
who was the other big guy? Because I remember the first time one of the first times I saw you play. You probably remember this game. I was walking around, I was officiating this game, walking around the field. Harbor was playing at Fayetteville, and it was week 10. Brandon Allen on one side, you were on the other, and one of my guys said, hey, which is the dude going to Arkansas? And I'm like, well, he's the guy that's about a foot taller than all the other, as y'all were going through pregame drills. It was real easy to pick Bray Cook out of the rest of the linemen on the team. I don't know if you remember that night, but that was that game where there was like 3 kickoff returns in the last 2 minutes for touchdowns. It was the wildest ending to a football game with you and Brandon Allen, and that was one of the craziest nights of football I've ever seen.
Well, that other O lineman was probably Daniel Garcia. I always
like
say
a head taller than everybody on your team.
Yeah, and he was the best out of the both of us. I mean, that kid was an absolute animal, an Arkansas high school offensive lineman. But that game that we played against Brandon, it's funny. I actually talked to him about this last month. You know, they like you said, it was back and forth there at the end, and Fayetteville ended up losing because we ran it back as I think time expired maybe.
Yeah.
To win.
It was the craziest game I've ever officiated. One of the craziest endings to a game I've ever been a part of.
And the bummer was it put us in the bracket on the same side as Bentonville. So we won that game, but it put us in a tough matchup against a really good Bentonville football team.
What year would that have been?
That was 2010.
Yeah, one of us is getting older.
Slowly but surely.
That's 15 years ago. That's hard for me to fathom.
So Harbor Wildcat, former Razorback, current P-Ridge High School coach. Is it moments like that, Bray, that kind of drew you to the coaching side of the profession?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I have so many incredible memories with some amazing people that are all kind of centered around the game of football. But one of the biggest reasons I got into coaching was when I had gone to the NFL and been there for about 5 days before I got hurt. Coach Bielema offered me a graduate assistant job whenever I healed up and came back. And so that's kind of what started my coaching career, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with really the youth camps. The youth camps during the summer were something that I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah. Bray Cook with us, head coach, P-Ridge High School. Let's look at the Razorbacks. I don't know how much time you've had because you're getting ready for a season to see anything going on. I know a lot of folks in your position like to go watch practices and see what's going on. Give us an idea of what's happening right now. We're seeing an offensive line. They're trying to kind of rebuild. We're in a transfer portal world, new players. How do you bring 5 players together that have never played together as a unit and make that function this year, Bray?
Well, if there's anyone that's going to do that, it's going to be Coach Mateos and Coach Pittman. I think the coolest thing for me to see as an outsider now is all the guys on that staff now I played for. You look at Coach Petrino for the year that I was with him, and then obviously I played for Pittman. And when I was playing for Pittman, Mateos was the GA. So I've seen all those guys work, and I'm really excited to see what they're able to do with those 5 guys, because if there's anyone in the country that can bring a group together, it's those 3.
So what happened last year, Bray? Coach Pittman has taken upon himself that you could tell how emotional and frustrated he was with how the offensive line played. You played the position. What happened, and how do they change it? How do they resurrect it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't in those rooms. I wasn't at those practices. So, the only ones that really know what happened are those guys that actually were there. And to me, it just looked like one of those things that they weren't just very cohesive. And that's nothing, on coaches. Maybe it's something where the guys just didn't gel. I mean, or maybe it's something that we have no idea what it was. But it's something that I think is not easy to fix, but Coach Pittman's taking the right steps to fix it.
We're talking again with Bray Cook here this morning, head coach of Pea Ridge High School. You've got your upcoming season that Tommy referred to coming up. I think y'all open, if I remember correctly, with Elkins. What does your season outlook look like for those listening, not just in Northwest Arkansas, but we got plenty of people listening that have friends, family, Alma, other people on your schedule?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you got people listening from all over the state, because our new conference takes us down to Greenbrier and Valonia and Morgan, so we'll be traveling. But we've got a group of 22 seniors this year, which is something that is we've never had since I've been part of this program. And not only do we have 22 seniors, but we've got 22 guys who are bought into the culture, which really is exciting for me as a coach. And we're excited for this season. We've each year that I've been here, we've taken a step up of winning 2+ games each year. So year 1 was a 1-9 season. Year 2 was 3-7. Last year we go 5-5. So this year our goal is to not just make the playoffs, but win one of them at least. And then of course the goal will always be to get down to Little Rock.
Yeah. Bray Cook, former Razorback, with us. When you got into the high school side of it, you worked. I think was it 1 season or 2 under Jeff Williams, who was the head coach? I think it was 1 season, right?
1 season.
And
yep, 1 year.
You followed him as the head coach. What did you learn in that 1 season with Jeff Williams, who was at Southside? He's now the AD at Siloam. And what have you learned? Tell me how you're a different head coach today versus that first season. What have you learned? Because you got this opportunity at a fairly young age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was very fortunate, and I've always said that the best thing about me is that I've been surrounded by incredible people, and Jeff Williams is absolutely one of those people that has really influenced my coaching career. And for me, coming from college where it's not a total business, but it's a lot of business, and it's recruiting, and it's all these different things going on. I think what Coach Williams brought to me was we all talk about building relationships, but what does that really mean in high school football? And so that's one of our cornerstones of our program.
Bray, I want to stay with Coach Williams for a sec. You do a podcast with Coach, and then also our buddy, the Mouth, Brent from formerly Stuttgart, now Cersei. How has that maybe helped you as a coach? You guys talk with players, y'all talk with coaches, y'all talk with a bunch of. How has that helped you as a coach at Pea Ridge High School?
I'll tell you what, it's been incredible. Each one of those episodes for me is just professional development. I mean, I sit there and I take notes from guys who have played incredible football, coached incredible football at every level. We've had guys from every division in high school football here in the state. And then, of course, you get Todd Munkin and Mike Norvell and Sam Pittman and those guys. And, for me, it's just been special to sit there, listen to them, and really, like I said, take notes, because I learn something new every time we sit down.
Now, I got to ask, are you in the weight room right now? We hear stuff going on in the background. What's going on behind you?
So our team, we practice at 5 a.m. So our staff meets at 5 a.m. and our team starts at 5:45 with a walkthrough. So we are up early and rolling every morning, and that's part of this new conference we're in. With travel and with all my coaching staff, we coach 8th through 12th grade. So in order for us to make those practices and run things how we want to run them, got to wake up early.
Well, you could do sports talk radio in the morning. That's about the schedule we're
there you
on
go.
right now. So
yes,
yeah.
Last thing, Brandon, we appreciate you joining us this morning. You mentioned Eric Mateos earlier, who you played under, who's the GA for Pittman at the time. Pittman leaves to, I guess it was the Georgia job he left for. Mateos was y'all's offensive line coach for the Liberty Bowl game. Jason Lowell was asking, just what did you see from him then, and maybe how you've seen him develop to be now an offensive line coach here in Fayetteville?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. So I had been offered the job to replace Mateos.
Oh, wow.
So I was gonna come work for Coach Pittman before he left to Georgia. And so I kind of knew that for that fall, and had been to a lot of practices, was watching, taking notes, studying, and things. Well, Coach Pittman goes to Georgia, so they give him the bump, Mateos the bump to the O-line coach, and they give me a call and say, "Hey, come to the Liberty Bowl, help us practice, and go ahead and get started." So I was actually there for that Liberty Bowl. I was up in the box, and let me tell you, I had no idea what I was doing. But one of the things that really stuck out to me was Coach Mateos, his understanding of that, and his ability to not lower his expectations, but kind of know what I didn't know, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't one of those things where you get a coach who's just going to berate you and get after you. I mean, he worked with me and was able to really get my coaching career started. So that's one thing that he's going to do with these O-linemen is he understands their weaknesses, and he's going to build them up.
Yeah. Was it simply the transition in head coaches at Arkansas, or what led you to high school and taking your career away from the college track?
When I got done at the U of A, they let Coach Bielema go. Well, he gets that beautiful big buyout, but us GAs did not get a buyout, so we were kind of kicked to the curb. But I was fortunate enough to get picked up by Mike Norvell at Memphis, and so I spent a year with him and really studied the game, and an incredible year for me to be able to sit there and just learn. So after that year in Memphis, I took a job at SBU, my first full-time coaching job up in Bolivar, Missouri, and then COVID hit. Now, when COVID hit, we were all sent home, and that was one of those things that I heard the Peerage job was open, and I'd always heard about Peerage, didn't know a whole lot about it, but I actually applied for the head coaching job then. But I didn't know that they'd given it to Jeff, obviously. So Jeff turned around and said, "Hey, come work for me," and I said, "Absolutely."
All right. Well, hey, so glad you're influencing the lives of young men and building that program up, and let's catch up again.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
We'll do it soon. Bray Cook, head coach at Pea Ridge High School, former Razorback. Great to catch up with him. And, hey, the job of a high school coach never ends. You talk about 5 a.m. staff meeting. I dropped Dylan off at practice this morning. He's got to be there at 5:30 to hit the field just before 6. So, hey, all these coaches, not just Bray, but all of them have been hard at work the last few weeks with most of them doing morning workouts.
So you got the Fighting Bray Cooks versus the Fighting DQs next Tuesday.
Yeah, there you go. It's a Tuesday game?
I think that's what the 20th said, unless I'm hammered when I'm looking at this. Yeah, the 20th, Tuesday.
Oh, that's probably a scrimmage. Okay. That's not going to be an actual game.
I got you.
It's a benefit game or a
scrimmage.
Who's
there? I didn't want to ask him. I don't want to put him on the spot. Who's Pea Ridge's rival? Is that Gravett or?
Probably, yeah. Okay. They've all moved conferences around, so it's some of these things don't line up anymore like they once did, like Prairie Grove and Farmington, and so some of them still play non-conference, but they're not in the same.
They do play Farmington this year. I will say
Farmington Pea Ridge would be another hotly contested.
I think
game.
if I remember in high school right, Tommy, we moved divisions or conferences or whatever a couple times just so our teams that we played in different sports changed, and of course my alma mater's moving up to 7A this year. I think they're going to get drilled, to be honest, but. It's just, I guess, how the landscape is changing with high school. I will say, so again, I'm not as familiar with high school rivalries as in the state as a lot of you being from certain towns. As much as you hate Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, the list goes on and on. It is crazy the animosity that these towns, especially small towns, have against one another these weekends. It's fantastic. It's one of the reasons high school football, not just in this state, is great, but other states is great too.
I'm 30 years from high school. They had our 30th reunion just about 2 weeks ago. So, I did not go, but I was out of town. But, so I guess the older you get, the less those things are on your mind. But you're exactly right. In-town rivalries, cross-town rivalries, I think it all starts at home, sibling rivalries. I think that's the root of all rivalries, right?
I would love to be around you and Teddy back in the day and see, because my brother and I we're about the same age as you guys.
You'd argue over arguing.
Oh yeah. That was me and my brother to a T, no question.
All right, more to get to. Your hog update on the way. First, a word from my great friends at Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. You know the number. I tell you every morning about Gaston's. The White River is a real treasure in our state. In fact, if you like fishing and you've never been trout fishing, Gaston's is the place to go because, hey, their guides take care of everything. If you're not much of an angler, hey, I don't know how to put hooks on or what bait would I use. That's why you have one of their professional guides that do this for a living. They're pros at it. Take you and your kids, your grandkids, whoever's in your group, and enjoy a great day of catching great rainbows and brown and cutthroat trout. Maybe you get lucky and catch a brookie, but you're just going to enjoy the scenery and the day and the experience of Gaston's and the White River. It's an awesome time. 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
There's never been anything like this.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, this is Arkansas wide receiver Isaiah Satania, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey and Hole Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
We were talking a little high school football with Bray Cook earlier before we get in our Hog Update. This text comes from Chaz in Fayetteville, Tommy. Apparently his dad went to Ozark in the 80s, and their rival was Boonville. When they traveled to Boonville for the away games, they would hang stuffed hillbilly dummies from a rope in a tree and saying,
I don't think
that fly today. Oh, man. The good old days, if you will. The good old days. All right, let's get into your Hog Update. Big C, Chicago Cubs were in a battle yesterday, and there was an interesting take for those that remember Drew Smiley gave up a home run yesterday, and the broadcaster said something that I haven't really heard per se.
There's a ball hammered. Deep left. Way out of here. Big Christmas. And a one-horse open sleigh. Rounding the bases after an absolute missile of a home run. And the Guardians take the lead 2-1. My goodness.
Oh, Smiley, he wants to kill himself. He hung him a breaking ball, and boy, Noel took advantage of it.
Oh, I guess that was Rick Manning, the Guardians analyst. Smiley wanted to. I haven't heard that on a broadcast before, and everyone's. What do you think?
Big Christmas and a what do you say? One horse open sleigh.
Yeah, that was good. And then the,
well, I mean, I'm sure that he wasn't very happy with hanging that pitch as it was described.
No, don't think so. But just an interesting thing to say on the airwaves.
Well, trust me, you say some interesting things too.
Off the airwaves, though. Off the airwaves. Occasionally on, too. Arkansas apparently is going to be playing Little Rock on the 22nd of November. The Trojans coming in with Coach Darrell Walker, the regular season OVC, Ohio Valley champions from last year. Tommy, they said they publicly released that Hog basketball has been sold out for a fourth consecutive year. I thought it was sold out like a month or two ago, or months ago.
Well, they just went through.
Help me on that.
They do this seating, online seating deal where you can improve or, add seats, move around, and basically they close that process. I mean, it was a foregone conclusion that it was sold out. And I think there's certain things they got to go through, and I think there's always a handful of seats for whatever reason that aren't filled. So, but they don't get very far down the donors list before that's all handled and taken care of. So seat upgrades, parking upgrades, all that's done. I got that email yesterday. So basically for the vast majority of season ticket holders, you're going to be sitting and probably parking where you were last year.
My late grandfather was I think it was a Broyles Matthews Foundation member, and my grandmother, when he passed, she wanted me to have that. I don't know if it's an insignia or a tie, whatever goes in your tie or whatever. What's that thing? Not a tie clip. Not a tie clip.
Tie pin?
Yeah, tie pin. That's what I'm thinking of. has that. I would guess that was a decent chunk of change that he had to contribute each and every year.
Here's the thing that's coming, and it's been a while, so you know it's due, and now you've got a good reason to do it, and particularly if they have a season that meets expectations. I don't know what that is. They're going to reseat Bud Walton. What do I mean by that? Well, they're going to change the donation levels where you sit, and everybody's
good old Bomb Walker Part 2.
Well, I mean, but it's necessary. It's just what you have to do.
Yeah.
People will be mad. People will be upset. But it's just, you want to have a coach like John Calipari. You want to have a winning program. No one's told me this is coming, but common sense tells you it's coming.
No, I think
they've done it with parking. They're going to do it with seating at some point. If it's not this next year, it'll be the year after. That's the next thing that's going to hack people off. But get your, save your nickels because it's coming.
Imagine having to do that in the foundation or the ticket.
I'd hate to be those on that
It would
job.
be horrible. And I have
answering the phones
friends
there.
that work there, or having to call a bigwig in Arkansas who's been sitting in Bud Walton maybe since it opened.
Well, the
for
bigwig ain't
30+
worried about it.
years.
He just writes the check. It's the commoner like me or you.
The midwig. Can I say midwig? The midwig.
Okay. You can make that up.
The midwig. And that's been sitting in the same seats in Bud Walton, solid seats for 30 some odd years. And
well, but they've been through it. If you've had them 30, you've been through this before. But listen, no one at the foundation has said, "Hey, this is what we're going to do." I'm trying to connect 2 and 2 and just intuition tells me
calling your shot.
Well, that's coming. I mean, so yeah, season tickets are sold out now. Enjoy your seats, but save your nickels because at some point, if it's not next year, it's coming soon. You'll have to ante up a bit more like they did in baseball to keep your seats. Just makes sense.
Yeah. All right,
you can't pay a guy $8 million and not raise the prices.
Yeah.
So it works.
Last two things in your hog update here this morning, brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Colby Hill squad, soccer here in Fayetteville for the third time in 4 years is ranked preseason number 1 in the Southeastern Conference. They whacked some team like 9-0 yesterday, so they've got another good squad this upcoming season. Also, we had a chance to catch up with Coach Travis Williams, defense coordinator at Arkansas, and some other guys, Brad Spence and Anthony Switzer, Arkansas kid. Spence was the freshman that played 11 games last year, probably going to start this season. He had a lot of linebacker turnover. What did Brad have to say about it? He's like, Coach T. Will added some good guys to this position.
I feel like T. Will did a good job going and finding those guys we needed for the missing puzzle going into the portal. And all the freshmen, me, Alex, Carson, I feel like we had to step up to the plate a little bit more. So I feel like we really took that personal going into this fall, becoming like the strongest depth on the team. We really homed into that.
You like this? You like what you're hearing about this group? And
I'm choosing to be optimistic. That doesn't mean I'm guzzling Kool-Aid, but I'm like Big C. I think Big C honed it in earlier. I can be miserable later. Why be miserable now? Let's just see. I'm trying to see it glass half full. Some of you got the glass half empty. That's fine. To each their own. But I like some of the things I'm hearing. I think the changes with Bobby Petrino and others on offense will lead to more points, less what I perceived as dysfunction last year in the Summit thing. I just think, now, does that equate to 8 or 9 wins? No, I'm not saying that, but I think more than 4.
That is your hog update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Got some really good news.
Okay.
So, for those that missed this story yesterday, a beef with myself on a What's Your Beef Wednesday, that I got a safe with the house I bought, didn't look at the instructions, and locked it with the key, not knowing the combination to the safe.
Yeah.
I talked with someone that is in the business of this, found the manual. The manual was actually in a safe space. It wasn't in the safe. It was in a portion of my house that I had a few other valuables and stuff. Turns out the combination was on the
Problem
manual
solved.
And got it fixed. So luckily now I have access to the much needed materials.
Because you needed your passport today?
You want to be able to have access to it. You don't want to have to melt the safe down or try and drill a hole in it or whatever you would have had to do to get it. But luckily now we have.
Yeah, because that have kept everything in it safe.
Luckily we have found it on. So again, my stupidity.
So what's the combination?
I'm not going to tell everyone.
I thought he was going to fall for it. I thought I had him.
It was kind of, and it worked the first time too.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to do it 2 or 3 times, but it worked the first time. So my stupidity on a Too Stupid Thursday.
Follow instructions.
Was solved. Thank goodness gracious. All right, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to
Why
talk.
do you need a key and a combination? I've got a safe in my house. It doesn't have a key and a combination.
I've got more valuable things in there, I guess, than you do. You need 2 ways to get through it.
I don't think that's the okay. I don't think that's the answer.
I don't know. It's just a safe that.
I don't know. I've
I'm
never
not-
seen a safe with a key and a combo.
Have you not?
I've got one of the. You got to dial it, and then you got to turn the handle like a bank vault.
This one has a handle that you turn, but it doesn't do it like that.
I got a big.
Either
This is a big gun safe.
This is this is a little small, little safe for just.
I got like a
valuable
safe.
thing.
This is like a
Big-
safe.
Big dog
This
safe.
is a vault.
Big
you know?
a vault.
I've got a vault.
The craft vault of sorts.
Yeah. You keep running your mouth, you may end up in the vault. So, hey, download the Morning Rush podcast. You can do that every day. Brought to you by Bud Light. Also, make sure and download the Hit That Line Now app. Morning Rush moving 9 to 11 on August the 26th. The new Chuck and Bo show starts that morning at 6 a.m. The Hit That Line Now app. You can listen, you can watch, you can keep up to date with everything we got going on. It's the Hit That Line Now app, available in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.
We'll talk with Trey Beatty of Hog Sports about what's going on in fall camp coming up in hour 3.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Beat the summer heat with a cool cash payout. The new $350,000 cash payout scratch-off ticket from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is on sale now. And it's loaded with over $12 million in prizes of $100 or more. That means big wins happen more often, and you could be next. Try the new $350,000 cash payout ticket today. Play, scratch, and win. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors. Or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals. At WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong.
So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nuys work to give all of their patients a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5501 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farm. Now offering same-day crowns, 226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. It's August, it's hot, and it's time to flip the lot. So we're giving you the best we've got. Save up to $6,000 on red tag clearance prices on a fantastic selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty, plus up to $2,000 extra for your trade and no payments for 90 days. They've all got to go, right down to the bare asphalt. Get a great deal on a great car now and help us flip the lot. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies, very hot, and it's going to be very sticky as well. A high this afternoon into the upper 90s with a heat index 107 to 110. We could see a few scattered showers with thunderstorms rumbling through across the north tonight. Overnight low to mid 70s, and isolated showers and storms Friday, a high mid to upper 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 14 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
One of the freshmen, Dean's going to throw, and it's intercepted at the 15. Spence has picked it off, and he's going to go the distance. 50, 40, 30, 20. Brad Spence to the house. An interception return for a score, 85 yards in his first game as a Razorback.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
And Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about them Cowboys?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those
All right, third hour here on a Too Stupid Thursday. Third time you got a chance to hear our open if you've been listening to the show. Guys, new open, two things. What do we give it 1 to 10? And can you name the theme song that we now have playing?
I thought that was maybe something from the NFL films collections almost.
It sounds like it, but it's not.
Is that from Tombstone?
That is from Tombstone.
Okay.
You got it.
Sounded like an old Western. That's the first one. I didn't know that. I just kind of guessed because that was the one that came to mind.
I just watched it this past weekend, and I had another music bet under our open, but I like that one better. So what are we overall?
Sounds like something, though, that crank that up there a little bit, Big C, so we can all hear it. Sounds like something NFL films is.
Yeah.
You know.
It's got a good, I do really like that theme song. So it's the summer, right before football season.
Give way to the. I can't do that.
I was going to say
John Facendable. I can't do it.
Summerall, the
NFL films guy, John Facenda or whatever. You got to smoke a lot of cigarettes and drink a lot of whiskey to get to that point.
Randall and Springdale guessed it right. Also, back to our safe comments in Nation, Tommy. Apparently, Tim in Fayetteville points out that all safes have a digital keypad. If they have a digital keypad, they have a physical key just in case the batteries.
Is this like a safe you can pick up and move if you needed to?
I mean, it's heavy, but if I needed to, yeah.
So I've never, do you have it bolted to the floor?
I don't know. I've never tried to move it. It might be.
I've always thought a safe you could pick up and move wasn't really a safe.
Probably right.
I mean, if they could break in my house and pick it up and take it with them, it's not really a safe.
Yeah, but I got security stuff, so hopefully it'll be enough a deterrent to,
all right,
to keep
Trey
that
Biddy's
from happening.
waiting patiently. Let's get past this nonsense. We're brought to you by APAC Arcola. They have immediate openings in the Boone, Marion, Baxter, Benton, and Washington County areas. If you're a licensed CDL driver, they have jobs right now for you. Heavy equipment operator, concrete finisher, diesel mechanic, or if you have experience with paving, with asphalt or concrete and working concrete, they've got jobs available right now. Go to jobs.crh.com. Sign-on bonus benefits that include insurance, retirement, and profit sharing as well. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
Trey's the publisher of Hog Sports, and I think he's making his Morning Rush debut this morning. Trey, are we talking to you while you have your binoculars out? Like, are we going to try and get the scrimmage from a distance that you can watch a little bit what's going on?
Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish. I think this is maybe the first time I've been in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas radio, because I'm normally in Central Arkansas. But when you asked, I listen to you guys, taking my daughter to school and stuff like that. So it was seemed like the time to do it. Maybe pop on here. Hey, I got something I got to blow your mind with though. Somebody brought this up to me a while back. You mentioned the movie Tombstone. You guys are all familiar with the term Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday when he says, "I'm your huckleberry," right?
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me that a huckle is actually the term for the casket handle. And if you're a hucklebearer, you're somebody that's going to take somebody to their grave, a hucklebearer.
Oh.
And maybe that it's not a huckleberry. Just putting that out there.
You just blew my and Tommy's mind.
I changed everything, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I didn't think about that. That's a great movie. There's so many great actors and actresses in that movie. It was enjoyed it back in the day. Well, again, we're joking about you got a scrimmage that's going on today. We had one.
Was it the Canadian soccer team? Who was it that flew the drone? Maybe we need their help in figuring out what's going on.
The Canadian coach got fired. We don't try to lose his job. He does a good job. But
we don't have any drones out there since the Chad Morris era also, so we're not bringing that back.
Well, Trey, we got a chance to, again, talk with Coach about the last scrimmage this week. Got a bigger one today. Maybe what have you learned about this team in I think it's the 14 days of fall camp thus far?
Yeah, today's day 14, practice 14, I should say. And a lot of different things. I'm still, as a guy that's like saying, 4 or 5 wins in the off season, or maybe 4 wins would be more likely than 8 wins, that kind of narrative. It also wouldn't surprise me if they did have some success this year. I mean, they are built differently now than other teams were, 5 years ago. Teams are just better now, but Arkansas is also better, and they have some older, competent players. They're not going to be relying on a bunch of young guys. So it wouldn't surprise me if, they went to Oklahoma State and maybe won. I mean, if last year's team can go to Baton Rouge and lose by 3, or go to the Swamp and win, or go to Tuscaloosa and lose by 3, not that should be celebrated almost winning, but why couldn't they go to Stillwater or Auburn and be competitive, right? So, that's kind of crept into my mind a little bit, that maybe that could happen, but I still think this team's got an uphill battle, because I know the schedule that they have in front of them, the teams that they're competing against. It's just going to be a battle every week, and adversity, as I was saying, is on the horizon. It's coming, and it could come in the form of injuries, know, and if there's injuries, like with the offensive line, I do not like the idea that Patrick Kudus has missed 12 days of practice, and that they kind of scrambled around trying to figure things out, moving Marion Harris, who's really a tackle, to guard, which I think is the best option. But what happens if there's one more injury?
Yeah. So
that's what would concern me. Go ahead, Tommy. You were going to say something.
I mean, I would just say you were right on my line for the next question. Is I think this team has the potential to be bowl eligible and to do things that maybe some or many don't expect. But my question to you is, what are the 2 or 3 injuries that could derail maybe the whole season? Because I think as we are hopeful for some good things to happen, the wrong injury at the wrong spot, Trey, I think could derail this whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to knock on wood so we don't jinx anything before I say this.
What worries you? What keeps you up worried about that?
Fernando Carmona, left tackle, I think is a big worry. No matter how much of an upgrade Taylor Green might be, he's not going to be a good quarterback if he's not protected. He's just not. And he would be another one. Jaquindon Jackson at running back, I think they've got some good backs, but do they have a guy that's just a workhorse better than everybody else? And maybe Braylon Russell could be that too, but you need more than one, especially at running back. But offensive line, I would say, would be a big one. And then in the secondary, I wonder about the level of talent that they have at the secondary. I think that Hudson Clark gets blamed every time it rains and is a better player than he gets credit for.
Absolutely.
And Jaden Johnson, I think, is at least an average SEC safety. I don't think either of those guys are going to the NFL, but they got a lot of experience, and that counts for something. It would be nice to see one more stud that they brought in out of the transfer portal where you're like, that's a guy. And maybe that could be Marcus Robinson at the other corner spot. He's rolled with the first group the last 3 days. It looks like he's kind of settling in there. I will say this, the group that you looked at and said they could be good, but we don't know. They have potential. You hope they're good. And we've seen a lot of hope before not pan out. But I do think it's telling that there are times where they're working formations where they're trying to get 4 linebackers out on the field. Even though last year's group is perceived as overall more talented group, or a group you feel more comfortable with because of their experience, they were never trying to get 4 linebackers out on the field. I think they really, really like that group. And the defensive line, I think, has got a solid 2 deep. It'd be nice if they had a 3 deep like they had last year, but I think they got a solid 2 deep. But the offensive line, if something happens injury-wise, just to answer your story, your question, and the secondary are the 2 areas that would worry me a little bit if they had an injury issue.
We're talking with Trey Biddy, publisher of Hog Sports, this morning. Trey, you mentioned the running back. So we were going over some bets earlier, and we had a listener that thinks that Braylon Russell's going to get 8 touchdowns in his freshman season. Jaquindon Jackson's, I think, around like 650, 6 or 7 touchdowns. How do you see this running back room looking, maybe based on what you know about Petrino and based on what you've seen in fall camp thus far?
Yeah, I think a big misconception is always that he's not going to run the ball. He is. He will, and he likes big backs too. He likes big backs. He likes big backs. And Braylon Russell, 6'1", 253 pounds. I could see him in a lot of scenarios getting goal line touches. But if you talk to Jaquindon Jackson, you got 3 carries inside the 5-yard line. Are they going to stop you? And he's like, no. Jaquindon's got an attitude. He's got an attitude. And I remember asking him in the spring. So you had that 15-yard touchdown catch. That was a pretty nice play. Yeah, people don't think I can catch the ball. That's kind of what he turned it into. You played through injuries last year, showed a lot of toughness. Yeah, people think I have paper ankles. They think I'm injury prone. And then the other day, somebody mentioned that he's kind of a power back. Well, he took real exception to that. No, I'm versatile. I'm not a power back. I don't like being put in the box. So he's got that kind of attitude that I'm going to show you. I've got something to prove, and I think he's got a lot of grit and toughness. I think he could be a real workhorse type of back. And those 8 touchdowns that Braylon Russell would get at the goal line, I think Jaquindon would probably eat those up.
Well, if the running game is successful, that's going to open up some options for Taylor Green, the Arkansas starting quarterback. Yeah. And I think the biggest question is, can he play in the SEC? Like, he had some ups and downs in Boise. He talked to us a little bit about his coach got fired. He had some personal stuff he was dealing with. Trey, can this quarterback, we know about his measurables, can he play Southeastern Conference football?
Yeah. As Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? Quarterback is such a difficult position to evaluate. I mean, Georgia, when they came down here in 2020, they had Stetson Bennett on their team, and they didn't realize what they had because they'd never hit quarterbacks. They brought a guy down there who just wasn't ready to play. Had Felipe Franks not gotten injured at Florida, they never would have realized they had an NFL quarterback in Kyle Trask on the roster. It's just such a difficult position because when these guys are out there throwing, not only are they not getting hit, but they know that they're not getting hit. And that's got to be a psyche thing. And then you put them out there and it's live bullets and things can change. So we just don't know, is he going to revert to some bad tendencies that he had when he was at Boise State, like, kind of getting squatty and, turning into, as Bobby Petrino said, a 6-foot quarterback. He threw a lot of sidearm throws during the spring, I remember. I've not seen him do that. In fall camp. He's thrown he's throwing the ball pretty well. Like, it's a nice, consistent, tight spiral. I wouldn't say he has a howitzer, but he's got good velocity. And I think the aspect of when you throw his legs into the equation, it's going to be a problem for teams. I've said before, he reminds me, I wouldn't say he's like as thick as Matt was, like thick in the hips and, just stoutly built. He's a little more slender at 6'6", 230, but he's got that same stride. When he hits the corner and people take bad angles on him, he's also probably more 4'5" versus Matt was like, 4'3", or something. He's probably a 4'5" guy, but people take really bad angles on him, and I'm interested to see how his legs are going to change things with the offense, but also when he gets popped a few times, is that something that's going to get him going mentally? And we've seen video of him, obviously, from the Mountain West, but it's a totally different animal here.
Yeah. Trey, something we've talked about and kicked around here on the show is the value of Bobby Petrino. When comparing to last year and the obvious dysfunction that you had in hindsight with Dan Enos, and you look at this year and all that goes into it, compared to last year, what's Bobby Petrino worth? And I've tried to equate it to points. I think it's a touchdown. What do you think the value he brings, real and tangible, to this offense is for the 24 season?
Well, I think you can see it in the players' eyes when you talk about Bobby Petrino. You ask them about it, they light up. They just talk about. They're just blown away, really. And guys that have worked with other, quarterback, like Taylor, obviously worked with collegiate coaches and stuff, and Malachi has too last year, but they talk about him in a different way. The narrative that he has mellowed out and stuff is ridiculous. I mean, he's always been pretty chill when he's in the press conference room, but I see him out there on the field, and he's getting in people's butts. I mean, like, he is after them. He is not accepting, and it's people say he's great for the players and all this. There's also some kind of mental deal with Bobby Petrino that has to be satisfied in terms of punctuality and just attention to detail. That's just, I think, really kind of common in all coaches. Is kind of maybe not cut from the exact same cloth as Nick Saban per se, but I bet it's a very geometric pattern on the cloth that he's cut from. Like, it's something mental that he can't help it but walk in right on time for a press conference, and he sets a good example in that way. There have been coaches here that have said, there was, Chad Morris is famous for saying, measure twice and cut once, but he didn't lead by example in that manner, and Petrino does, and they know what they're getting out of him every single day, and they just talk about, spend an hour and a half with the guy and how much smarter he'll be about football if you do that. And I think that's rubbed off on the players, that confidence that he has. And, they believe in him. And just like we remember how players acted about him. And I like the idea that he's not worried about NIL. He's not worried about, recruiting and all that stuff so much. A little bit, but not as much as if he was the head coach. He's just worried about the offense.
Yeah. But I think when you bottom line, I agree with everything you just said. I think when you bottom line that in comparison or in contrast to a season ago, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect this offense to be a touchdown or 10 points or some kind of reasonable number better. I don't think, we're going to all of a sudden be an offense that scores 42, 47 points, 49 points a game. But, I just got to believe everything you said, which I believe is spot on, is worth production on the field. And the bottom line is points. The bottom line is first downs and touchdowns. And I've got to believe, Trey, all that adds up to having a better chance to win because you score more points.
No question. I think it's way more likely that they score 10 more points a game than stay the same as they did last year. I think they've got a more cohesive unit. I think they've got a better offensive line. Now, is it an average offensive line? I don't know if it's even average right now. Is it light years better than last year? Yes, I think so. I think the bond that the offensive line has, which it matters, is part of it. And we talk about, it's the team's so close, the culture, the unity. We talk about that every single year. But I buy it a little bit more this year. I'm not saying it's going to translate to them making it to a bowl game, but I also maybe think it might translate to them maybe not letting go of the rope if things don't go the way they want those first three difficult games outside the state of Arkansas. So, yes, if Arkansas's offense, though, can average 10 more points a game. They can make some more decisions. Let's be honest, like, just averaging 10 points a game isn't gonna cut it. It's about how you finish these games, and especially early when everybody's got everything to play for.
Bingo.
And what kind of mentality does Talon Green have? Does he have that killer instinct late in games? Does that part of Bobby Petrino rub off on him the right way? Or there's a fine line between being careless and having a killer instinct, right? So finding that balance. So there's a lot of factors. So much of it, Tommy, I think, revolves around what kind of guy Arkansas has in Talon Green, and can they protect him?
Yeah. I mean, and last point, and we'll let you go. And I know Ty's got one more, but as many one possession and close games as they lost last year, I've just got to believe maybe they don't win all 5 of them in that scenario, but 2 or 3 of them, you got to go your way just because of everything we've talked about.
I hope that's the case. Trey, we'll let you go with this, man. You asked the question to Coach Pittman at SEC Media Days, 5 venues, first 5 games. You just alluded to 3 of them there. You Stillwater, Auburn, Alabama, Jordan-Hare Stadium, and then you go to Jerry World for the quote-unquote away game against A&M. How do you deal with that if you're a head coach, 5 venues, 5 games to start the season?
Well, the way they played at home last year, you might want to be away. I mean, if that carries over, but they have to figure out how to play better at home. I mean, UAB is not just like they should absolutely win. They weren't that good last year, but we've seen them lose at home and play bad at home in front of teams that they should smoke. And but yeah, I think that they have a pretty good road mentality. Whatever that is from last year, carry it over because they were not good at home last year. And you've got to win games late. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Whatever it takes, digging deep and pulling it out, making the right decisions. I mean, sometimes it's whether you go for it or kick a field goal. And that's another question, guys. Nobody's really talked too much, maybe you guys have, but about the special teams unit.
Yep.
I mean, field goals these games are going to be close, I think, early on. And how good is your field goal unit? That's cost them, obviously. Even with Cam Little, it cost them that Texas A&M game. But there's all kinds of things, late in games that are going to determine what this team's record is. They're going to be involved in some close games, I think, especially early on. Just got to do a much better job of pulling those out. And as far as selling them on 5 different venues, I don't know. Hey, no other team in the country gets to do this, right?
Well,
something like that. That'd be a Houston Nutt kind of narrative, wouldn't it?
Well, I think the question is, and we'll come back to where we started, can Sam Pittman be Mike Gundy's Huckleberry?
No.
So
you blew, Trey, you blew Jordan from Green Forest, Texas, in. Of all the things you've said this morning, that's the thing that you blew his mind.
Yep.
So that was good.
I'm not even sure if that's 100% true. It's just a theory I saw.
I don't know.
But it's a good story.
Looks accurate.
Either way, it's a good story.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy,
Get the
thanks.
conversation going.
Love the conversation. Let's do it again as the season unfolds.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Trey Biddy, publisher of Hog Sports, kind enough to join us for the first time on Northwest Arkansas Radio. And he mentioned UAB. Let's not forget, late Chris Morrison's son, Alex, who used to play quarterback here, is heading up that offense. Trent Dilfer's their head coach. That is not listen, I want that Blazers game to be a walk in the park in Fayetteville. I don't think it's going to.
Stop. Arkansas is not good enough right now to just say anybody's a pushover win of that nature. You're just not a good enough program or a good enough team. We're not, period. Even if you go beat Oklahoma State, you better play well to beat UAB.
Can you imagine if they beat the Cowboys and then left
I don't even want to think about that.
Oh, my
hey,
gosh.
this weekend, if you're looking, kids are back in school next week for a lot in the Fort Smith area. Uncorked's got some live music kind of as the final weekend. Mom and Dad probably need a break after all the back-to-school shopping. They're going to have Highway 124 tomorrow night from 7 to 10 at Uncorked, one of my favorite places that you can go and gather, and got a very great menu. If you haven't tried the fried deviled eggs as one of their appetizers, you're missing. If you like deviled eggs, you're going to love these. They got a double bone-in pork chop that's awesome. They got a great prime ribeye and filet that's on the menu and many other items, and a great patio as well. Highway 124, make your reservations at uncorkedthefort.com and join us at Uncorked this weekend on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Cheering for the other SEC schools is like cheering for the devil because he's in the Bible. I'm not going to do it.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The only local, family, and alumni-owned Razorback store.
Yep, our names are on Senior Walk, and we understand what that charging Razorback means.
From new students to season ticket holders, we have everything you need.
From floor coverings, wall art, game room items, and other stuff to decorate your home or dorm room.
To things for your pet or all sorts of clothing, we have it all.
We feature brands like Champion, Cutter and Buck, Tommy Bahama, Columbia, and many, many others, all in the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, your dad's side's starting to go viral.
Hey, what, is that a new thing? Can I get a pill or a shot for that?
Anyway, you can call us at 479-STADIUM or 479-782-3486.
Or drop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium in Fayetteville. Or if you need to, you can shop us online at them Gram things.
Dad, let me do this. What he means is our website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go
Hogs.
He struck him out swinging. This is historic. You've never seen anything like this before.
This is the Morning Rush.
Has your job been grinding your gears lately? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. They use brand new equipment in your home every weekend. Don't think you're getting paid enough? That's not the case at Lavorne Lumber. They're highly competitive in that area. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, then stop by and see Pam and the Bills Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 at Lavorne Lumber. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, Lovvorn lumber.com.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera Document Solutions dealer.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and 3.
Every time you kiss me, it's like sunshine and whiskey.
I love Tyler Bill. He just needs a little bit more education. But I love him.
Under a lot of pressure. Throw it.
Do you want to watch the Morning Rush, Halftime, Even, Ruskin, and Zach? Find our live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio.
Got a couple texts to get to here on a Too Stupid Thursday. We're also going to chat with Heath and Cabot, who we haven't heard from in a while. Tommy, on a Too Stupid Thursday, yesterday we didn't get to this holiday, but I want to talk about it today. Social Security Day was yesterday. I calculated the number of days it is till I turn 67, where I can draw, quote unquote, air quotes, draw, because it's going to be dry and barren by then. But if it's still there, I can draw fully from Social Security at 67 years old, 14,728 more days until.
Wow.
What is that?
I'm glad you're of the mindset not to count on it. I need you to keep working to pay for mine,
I know,
though.
it's BS.
Keep paying for mine.
What are we, 19 years apart? 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got
that's also
less than 20 years.
On a
I've
Too
got
Stupid Thursday.
19 years. So
are you going to start at 62 or go to 67?
I'll have to see them probably 70.
You get more if you push back 3 years? Oh,
yeah.
And I'll
Depends on how long you think you're going to live. But, I'm of your mindset. My retirement plan doesn't include what I'm going to draw from Social Security. I'm still not sure I'm going to see a dime.
Well, I want to kick by 70.
And I'm a lot older than you.
I want to kick off by 75. I want to be done.
Yeah, you say that now. You're how old? 29? Yeah. Wait till you're my age. I'll be 49 this year. Your view of what 70 or 75 looks like will.
You're about to hit the half the century mark.
I am. I'm just year and 4 or 5 months away.
Jordan Green Force also adds this morning, really appreciates the benefit of adding Chuck and Bo starting August the 26th. The Chuck and Bo Show, Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, and then the Morning Rush will move from 9 to 11, and he thought Trey did a great job last segment.
Good to talk to him. We don't talk to him very, very often, but one of the best in the business. Hey, I know it's back to school time. A lot of you have been getting kids to the dentist, and maybe it's been full or you can't get into your dentist. Call our friends at Valley Family Dental Practice, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental. They're at the entrance to Riley Farms on the south side of Fort Smith. They take care of any type of dental care procedure for you and your family. We also want to welcome Dr. Bland Van Nice to their staff. He'll take care of all of everyone in your family, give you a comfortable experience, a better smile, and make sure that everything you need, whether it's implants, braces, cosmetics, Invisalign, whatever it is, they can do that. Plus now, same-day crown service available as well at Valley Family Dental Practice. Valley Family Dental Practice, 479-226-3500 for an appointment. 226-3500 or online at valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
All right, let's go to Cabot, Arkansas. Tommy, I usually have these mascots off the top of my head. The Panthers, where Heath is. Heath is, dude, I don't remember the last time we've heard from you, man. Where you been?
It's been a while, man. Listen, work, life, things happen. I'm going to miss you guys. I still listen. I'm going to miss you guys early in the morning, but I'll still be able to catch you guys, 9 to 11?
Yep.
9 to 11.
Get that app.
I'll be able to catch you in my office.
How do you listen now, online?
Yes, I got the app, so I just, which is fantastic.
Chuck and Bo, and then just keep on rolling. You just no need to turn it off at 9 o'clock.
Well, love Chuck. Bo is an old nemesis going back into the Mitch Mustang days, so there's some. I will listen and I will call in. He probably doesn't remember me. He's so famous now, but I will be listening to that show. Listen, guys, I'm gonna make a couple points, but have you ever been hyped up for a movie to come out and you sit back and you read some articles, maybe you watch a couple of interviews, and you're like, man, it's gonna be a fantastic movie. Can't wait to see it. Then you go, you spend the money, you buy your tickets, you spend $50, $60 on refreshments. The movie's horrible. The movie's horrible. Listen, that's like a upcoming Razorback football season every single year. Look, love that you're optimistic. Always want to be optimistic. You won't believe it, but I'm one of the most positive. I'm a PE teacher, so I'm one of the most positive people out there. Got to have energy. Got to be positive, but you got to be real, man. Listen, look, there's just too many unknowns with this team. I believe there's a lot of talent, some good players, but you look at the big picture, this is probably not a 5-win team this year. It's just not. If they go to Stillwater, which I am not an Oklahoma fan, so if they happen to beat Gundy and the Cowboys, fantastic, I'll be cheering. But look, they're not going to stop Ollie Gordon. That is a seasoned, experienced team. Arkansas is still in a rebuilding stage. So they're just hitting a bunch of teams this year that are good, that are playoff caliber, that are ready, and they're rebuilding. Will they be better? I believe they will. They got Bobby Petrino, although he has not been able to duplicate his last success anywhere. But since the last time he was here, I think they'll do better. But listen, you got to be real. If you're thinking 6-win bowl game, that's just wishful thinking. If they get there, awesome. But I wouldn't set the expectations that high. I would say maybe 5. Maybe they catch a team slipping up. I don't know. I mean, there's so many good teams. Ole Miss is good. Missouri, Texas, they're all playoff caliber. Tennessee could be a contender. Oklahoma State could be a contender. I mean, and as their history shows, come on, guys, they don't win all 4 non-conference games every single year. So, I mean, UAB could catch them and beat that team.
Can you split Oklahoma State and in Auburn? Can you win one of those two? And I think if you can get to the A&M game at 3-1 somehow, you're on pace. You're on track. Whether you win at Oklahoma State, lose there, but you got to win one of those two, I think.
Yeah, I don't blame.
You need to be 3-1, not 2-2.
Heath, I'm thinking around 5 or 6 wins. I've been pretty vocal about that. I've never been more wrong in my entire life, but there are a lot of unknowns with this football team. But I do agree with Tommy to a certain extent that Bobby Petrino might be worth a touchdown or more, and I'm hoping that Coach Williams...
Compared to last year.
Yes, correct. All right, we've got our SEC update coming up. 10 years of the SEC Network as of yesterday. We'll react to that and more news when we return on The Morning Rush.
Hey, this is Ryan McGee with ESPN and Marty and McGee, and you are listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
You guys are the best.
This is the Morning Rush.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nuys work to give all of their patients a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5501 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farm. Now offering same-day crowns, 226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witz Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witz Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals. At WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Well, Ethan Cabot, Tommy, apparently convinced JW that Arkansas is going to win no more than 4 games after that call. We hadn't heard from Ethan in a while. I was expecting something positive, but he's not exactly in the.
Well, if you haven't talked to someone in a while, how would you know what to expect?
I just assumed. Guess that's what we know about assuming.
What that spells. Yeah.
All right. Time to get in your SEC update this morning. 10 years of the SEC network. Pretty wild it's been this long. This was the initial trailer about 10 years ago yesterday.
The offices sit at the corner of 22nd Street and Richard Arrington Boulevard in Birmingham, Alabama. This is the home of tradition and excellence. In its 82-year history, the Southeastern Conference has been home to 211 national championships. In the last calendar year alone, the SEC has unfurled 7 national championship banners, from the track to the course to the diamond. Tonight, we start a new chapter in that history. A place to watch the games, a place to celebrate excellence. This is the SEC Network.
You hear Britt Musburger there, a longtime ESPNer, works CBS and various other pit stops along the way. Loves betting nowadays, which is pretty cool.
He's always liked the wagering side.
He's mentioned. I just love when you watched a game with him and you heard him say this.
You are looking live.
It's just the creme de la creme of college football. And there's Vern Lundquist, there's Keith Jackson. I actually met Musburger in Stillwater, of all places, back in 2014, which was quite an experience. But that was I enjoyed listening to that trailer that I'd watched 10 years ago and then kind of watched it again yesterday.
I was at the Stadium Shop yesterday talking with Robert, and he had the SEC Network on, and they were doing a lot of the celebration stuff. And I think Feinbaum had Gary Pinkel on. And they were talking to different people. And, just time gets away. If you'd asked me a couple of weeks ago, how long's the SEC Network been on? I had to think about it. I'd have come back to 2014, but I said, 5 or 6 years, 7 years, something like that. Yeah. It's just amazing how quickly time can get away. I wish what they had done when the Longhorn Network, ceased operations when they joined the SEC is taking that spot on the guide, taking that network, resource that was there with ESPN and made it SEC Network too. I mean, they've kind of done away with the alternate channel, and I know we're headed to a streaming world where everything's going to be on streaming platforms, but man, the more games that are on linear TV still, the happier I am. I wish we kept one of those channels around to just show more games. Not necessarily in football. That's not always the issue, but you get to basketball season, you get to baseball time, you'd have time to show more sports. But there's nothing worse than your games coming on and you got to get your tablet or your Roku out or something to watch the first 5 minutes of your game till the one in front of you is over.
Well,
I wish they had more channels so we could avoid that.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So I'm setting up the living room last night, just bought my friend's couch, and the idea of just turning your television on, we were talking about nostalgia a little bit in the last segment, the idea of turning your television on, watching an old football game, getting you ready. I know where I'm going to be sitting most Saturdays, post-Arkansas football. It's on that couch, probably passing out, perfectly honest, and then waking up on my couch the next morning. That is, like, people have their rituals every Saturday, and I hate having, again, this is a small thing, but like having to go to the ESPN app or something else instead of just flicking on your channel and going to that network, whatever
That's what
it is.
I just said. Yeah.
So I get that 100%. It's not that big, but it's
one more channel would alleviate some of that.
It would. By the way, I just got a text from the person I bought it from. He tried to keep that couch and that ottoman. He has been vetoed by his wife, so now he wanted to keep the couch because they're getting a new couch.
And you bought it, or?
Yeah, I bought it, but now I'm getting the ottoman with it. He wanted to keep the ottoman too, but now I'm.
Well, that'd have been no deal. I mean, you're a better negotiator than that, I thought. I mean, I said, no, keep the whole thing. If I don't get all of it, we're out. I'm out.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good couch. It's got a fold-out bed and everything, so I will be sleeping and watching college football.
Who's going to move it for you?
It's already moved. He helped move it.
Wow.
So it was a good deal. It's $250 for that whole thing. So I think
go wrong. I'd charge you $250 to move it.
No,
moving's the worst.
He's a good buddy. I can't make him do that. Or he's a good enough friend to do that without charging me. Other thing, SEC announcement wise.
Me and Big C would have charged you though. We're going to sweat. We're going to charge.
Big C, he can attest this. What did I help do when you moved here, Big C? Helped him move.
You did. I can't deny it.
For free of charge.
You're just quite a guy.
Good human individual.
Citizen of the Year.
I can't.
Citizen of the Year.
If you want to give me that award, I'll take it, I guess. Other thing, SEC-wise, as we continue
I'd say Man of the Year, but no one would believe that.
They'd say man. They just wouldn't necessarily say Man of the Year. Other SEC news. Peyton Manning had this little announcement with Tennessee Athletics yesterday. So we've talked about Razorback Stadium, right? It's no longer Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. It's Razorback Stadium. Don't know if it's going to be Walmart Stadium, Tyson Stadium, J.B. Hunt Stadium, another sponsor stadium, but Neyland is keeping its name, but it's kind of sponsored by Pilot now.
Hey, Peyton Manning here. Tennessee continues to lead the way, and today they are joined in an unprecedented announcement with a business that has consistently supported Knoxville the great community surrounding it, East Tennessee, and the Vols. Today, Pilot and Tennessee preserve the legacy of Neyland Stadium.
So it's like Neyland Stadium presented by Pilot, which again, gas stations.
What's that guy? He owned
Haslam,
Jimmy Haslam, yeah,
Browns,
yep.
right? So that is the.
Every one of us have been to a Pilot truck stop at some point to buy gas.
So wouldn't you
get a corn dog?
Wouldn't you want it to be like Razorback Stadium presented by Southern rather than so and so, or do you care? It's no.
Depends on how long term the deal is.
Okay.
If I'm in Hunter Yurchek's chair, I want it to be fill in the blank stadium, fill in the blank Razorback Stadium. Because that probably means I got a longer term deal for bigger bucks. But Neyland Stadium's, it's iconic in college football. It was the first big stadium in the South. I mean, and it has been forever. That was one of the things I, distinctly remember joining the SEC. 100,000 seat stadiums in the Southwest Conference.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 100,000 seat stadium. There's a stadium that could seat everyone in my town and then some. I mean, that blew my mind 32 years ago.
You should have won there in 98. You should have won there in 2000.
It blew my mind.
You were there when they won in 2015, and that was a Joshua Dobbs, Butch Jones, Tennessee squad.
After trailing 14-0.
Yeah, I was watching that U.S. Pizza on Dixon Street.
So Neyland Stadium's just, it's one of those sacred
it's cool.
places.
No, it is.
It's old and it's falling down, but it's sacred. It's hallowed grounds of college football in the South, at least.
Yes, it is.
People in Michigan would tell you the Big House is, or the Horseshoe in Ohio State. Those are, but
So I know we're SEC country here and we're SEC centric, but those two schools, and we saw Michigan last year, we saw Ohio State go toe-to-toe with Georgia, I think it was 2 years ago. And those are SEC schools that are just up north, basically, in the pageantry tradition, players, coaches, but they're not an SEC footprint, so we don't regard them as that. But that's SEC-like.
All right, we'll do our Fenceman Friday picks tomorrow at 7:45. The Fenceman's the company we trust, and we think you can too when it comes to building your next fence. I can tell you because when I needed some custom gates after we did some backyard remodel, the Fenceman was the one I called. That's where the relationship began, and we've been buddies and partners ever since. The Fenceman can build you quality gates and fence. If you've got fences that are sagging or drooping, have got that section that's kind of bowed in or out, got gates that won't open properly, call the Fenceman. They can get it fixed or get you a new fence if yours is looking old and tired. 782-3936 is the number. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
So a reminder for those in Northwest Arkansas tonight, Justin Verlander, the 3-time Cy Young and 1-time AL MVP winner in, I believe, 2011, is pitching tonight for the visiting team that takes on the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. So if you need something to do tonight, again, we're 14 days out, 2 weeks from the first Arkansas football game. Not a lot on outside of MLB baseball. High school football really didn't get going until next week with some scrimmages, and then week 0 following that. That'd be something you could do.
Yep, and just pulling up my my weather app real quick, kind of see what the forecast for tonight would be. Let's see here. Let me scroll. I don't know if I got Springdale in there, but Fayetteville in there. Yeah, it's going to be nice tonight. So, warm. You're going to sweat a little bit, but good night to get to the ballpark.
Assuming it's going to be a $1 beer night, too. If I had to guess, I'm going to be in that area. I've asked if our group of Arkansas grads want to go, and they're like, no. But it would be something that if I didn't have plans already, I would.
About 90 at first pitch.
Okay, that's not too bad.
By 9 o'clock, 83 after the sun goes down. So
no, you could stop by if you wanted to.
But you better be there early. What time did you say first pitch was?
Ooh, I have to look that up.
A rehab assignment, and Chuck was talking about this yesterday. Inning, maybe 2. If you're expecting to go watch 7 innings of work, no, not happening. So, don't miss the front end of the game if you're going to see Verlander. So, I imagine first pitch is somewhere around 7.
Thirsty Thursday, too, at the Arvest
there you
Ballpark.
Go.
I'm not seeing. They don't have the game time on the on the announcement. So, I don't have a good answer for you, Tommy. I'm sorry. I'll see if I can find it.
Sorry to ask you a difficult question.
Yeah, I would think they would have that. We were in Springdale yesterday. Our fantasy football, again, the Mecca in Tawnytown this weekend. I hadn't had Venetian in since college.
Yeah,
I had that
over there.
They Thank
you.
you.
Chicken, spaghetti, or both?
3 pieces of chicken spaghetti. So thank you.
3 pieces?
Yeah, for lunch, baby. Thank you, Alice and Melissa, for hooking us up because that was that was some good stuff. Again, there's certain places in Northwest Arkansas that I haven't had in a while. That's one of them. One that I've never had. You mentioned Neil's Cafe before. I'm going there next Friday. Just had, for whatever reason, either hadn't made it out that way or
everything at Neil's is good. I've been there several times. I make sure you have enough time because I have not done this. I've had obviously chicken's one of the things, but have enough time for the bone-in chicken. I mean, you can get chicken tenders, you can get the chicken fried steak, all that stuff's great. Their sides are awesome, but plan enough time, I hear, to do the bone-in chicken.
How long does
it's worth
it take?
the wait. Well, it just takes a little longer.
Now,
20 minutes.
Yeah, that's not bad. I should have enough time for that. All right, that's going to do it for us here on a Too Stupid Thursday. I had a bunch of stupid stories. Speaking of chicken, the lady that tried to steal $1.5 million worth of chicken wings.
What did you say, 300 tons? Or
I think it's 160 tons.
160 tons.
Which, just to put that in perspective, the Statue of Liberty is 140. So
that'd be 3,200 pounds of chicken.
I don't. You asked a good question, and it wasn't in the story that I read. What she did with them.
What'd you do with the chicken? 'Cause I don't remember going to school 30 years ago and getting chicken wings in the high school cafeteria. Where'd all the wings go?
I don't know, but we do remember the square pizza that everyone seemed to, except for JT in Hot Springs. He was the lone texter that said he was not a fan of that square pizza used to get.
If you don't like the square pizza in high school, you may not be trustworthy.
You're right. You have to at least question them for a bit. All right, that's going to do it for us. I'm still trying to find the 7:05 tonight.
There you
is
go.
the Naturals' first pitch
Good guess.
against Corpus Christi. Good luck, Justin Verlander. You're going to need it tonight.
The best selection of